Well, good morning. Good to see you. Welcome back to all of you longtime subscribers. Hello again, all you new members. Hello. Ones in the chat if you're ready for some Victoria 3. Ones in the chat if you're excited that it's the weekend. Ones in the chat if you're ready to go. Ones in the chat if you're like me and you've never played Victoria before and you're excited for Victoria 3. Ones in the chat if you like bacon. Ones in the chat if you smash that like button. Ones in the chat if you got your notification bell set to all. Ones in the chat if you want a hamburger. Let's go. Today we're going to be doing some Victoria 3 gameplay reveal reactions to Paradox's showcase of the gameplay and features that'll be coming soon that they showcased on their YouTube channel. I've never gotten into this before. Wanted to make a video on this, but they showcased over 4 hours of literal raw gameplay and talked about it, and essentially from afar, for a noob like me who's never played a Victoria game before, which is a little unlucky for me, but maybe a good opportunity. It appears to look like maybe a little bit of Anno 1800 meets Hearts of Iron and a couple of other things. So I am excited. Yeah. Boom. Should be exciting, huh? Alright, let's go ahead and throw that down. Y'all ready? Me too. Boom. Okay, well, let's watch some of Paradox's coverage of the event, and/or the main thing. There's a pre-order trailer, and apparently you get remastered songs and such with the original, so we'll check it out. We'll see how it goes. There's going to be a learning curve with this one. Good. Luckily, we'll have Bradford on board to showcase all of the... well, he hasn't played either, but Bradford is like a Hearts of Iron expert, so I'm assuming some of that will come into, I mean, you know, it'll be better to have that experience than not for Victoria 3. A little bit of knowledge, at least, of industrialization and production, which this one will focus on. All right, well, let's go ahead and get started with the pre-order trailer. I'm going to get a few things on screen here. On screen. And then we should be good to go. If you haven't already, again, make sure you go ahead and turn on the notification bell for our streams a little bit later today and some stuff tomorrow. Should be a good time. Gotta be the Polish Commonwealth? I mean, I guess I could do whatever. There's going to be a lot of stuff that you can do and stuff that I guess you can do for the first time since there'll be many new features. Let's go ahead and get started. That should be that. And then let's watch the, let's see, pre-order trailer, remastered songs, pre-order bonus. New member, welcome. Not like a trailer just for the game itself. Let's see. Well, there is a trailer. Let's see. Play with France? Yeah. I think I don't know what if you guys had access to the game today, what nation would you play as? Like, what would be? You got to pick one. Who are you going as? Who's it going to be? Let's see. Sweden, the Netherlands. Well, they have the whole playlist here. Hold on.
Peggy 12.
Okay, we got a whole bunch of stuff to... wow, there's way... I'm not going to watch any of that. Nope. But this we will. England, Bangladesh. Ooh, the Ottomans. Ooh, yeah, 1800s America would be interesting. Will the game let you go through the Civil War as the United States? That'd be interesting. All right, let's watch the announcement trailer just to get us excited. Well, we already are, let's be honest. And then we'll jump into a couple other things, and then time to watch some gameplay. Poland, you can do the Civil War? Oh, that's going to be sweet.
Never before. have the lives of so many changed so much, so quickly, as when the engines came to life for the very first time, with a roar that echoed over continents.
Oh man.
In the soot and ash covering the streets, the people planted seeds of revolution. Visionaries of commerce and diplomacy electrified the world, and sparks of inspiration flew towards the sky. Up, up over the smokestacks, rose a promise of a grand tomorrow.
Wow. Oh, it's going to be on Game Pass? Oh, that means that could be day one on Game Pass then, which means essentially the game, it's going to be no extra cost if you already have Game Pass. Dude, that trailer is on par with what excited me for like Anno 1800. That is badass. All right, let's check a little bit more. Oh, it's not on Game Pass anymore?
Victoria
What?
3 is a grand strategy game that takes place between the beginning of the Victorian Age in the 1830s to the early 20th century. The 19th century saw the expansion of railways, the invention of the telegraph, mighty steamships, new weapons of war, and, most importantly, new ways of viewing the world.
What country am I playing? Dude, I have no idea.
So I want to start by touching a little bit on the past of the series and what made
Victoria 3 confirmed.
What they are and what made Victoria 2 such a popular game.
I think it's safe to say it's confirmed.
Because the games focus so much on internal management, on your population, your economy, and the sense that you're ruling over real people in a real society.
What's really important, what sets the franchise apart as a series, is the emphasis on the political and economic management of
England, yeah, that'd be interesting.
And that connection.
The Netherlands too, because of
in any games, to my knowledge.
the Dutch East Indies and such.
Something that really sets the Victoria games apart from our other titles is that there is a lot of focus inwards, what's happening inside your borders, rather than all of what's going on outside of your borders and in relations with other countries.
Yeah, the Dutch will be interesting.
We have the simulation running underneath. You don't have to look at it in detail on a day-by-day basis.
Yeah, what happens
but we aggregate all that information to you. So we
if
show
my
you
empire
trends,
lasts
we show
100
you
years?
charts, we show you averages.
Can I
If
play
you
into
wanna
World War
drill
II?
in and find out exactly what a farmer
Or
in,
World War One?
Brandenburg, working on the wheat farms, thinks about the politics of your country. You can do that.
Wow,
but you
that's
don't
cool.
have to do that in order to play the game.
There is a lot going on, especially with the pops. There is a huge, complex simulation, but
It just goes
give
in
you
Hearts of
all
Iron
tools
4?
to work
Okay.
with that. So, for example, the leader of a million+ population country doesn't ask each individual person in the entire population what they want. They interact through parties, through political movements, and through other such elections. And that's what we tried to recreate through the mechanics of Victoria 3.
So this lets us have really interesting laws.
After 100
as well
years, the simulation
that,
crashes
can
and then you
provide
enter the
really
Matrix?
Powerful impact
Okay.
on your population when you do things like pass women's suffrage or even laws that permit women in the workplace.
You can pass
These
the
are
save file to Hearts
new
of Iron 4 and
dynamics,
continue there, I
and new
believe?
depth
No
to the
way.
population system that we
Is that
haven't had
true?
before,
Can you
and
do
that's
that?
really exciting to me to make sure that we
No
actually
way.
simulate the world's population and not just a fraction of it.
No way. If you could do that, man, no way.
When it comes to
You
the
can do
playing
that?
goals
No
and
way.
What is the aim of a campaign? What are you trying to do?
No way.
I think this is also where the society building aspects of Victoria really shines through.
Bradford's gonna love
Because
this.
in a lot of games, the goal is more like, I want to take over this territory, I want to restore this empire, but it can be very different than inwards-focused games, because instead it can be about, I just want to take
Bradford's
this
gonna love
country and
this.
I want its people to have a good life. You don't have to have a grand ambition to go. Of course, you can.
To me, this feels a little bit more like Anno 1800, except more of the world, but more Hearts of Iron, but also more like politics and policies and such, which is
build your own
totally cool.
Piece of the world, just as you want it.
Ew, economics.
So most of our economic model is built on the idea of supply and demand, right? Homo economicus. In Victoria 3, that isn't the only way that pop units make their purchase decisions. We have a good substitution system. So pops have certain needs, like the need for luxuries or the need for staple goods. And the goods that they choose is often
no, I know it's not like Anno, but it's the closest thing to me as somebody who's never played Victoria 3, because of the 1800 era. It's got that vibe of what I thought was cool about 1800, Anno 1800. You know, steamships and
luxurious exotic drinks,
you know, dreadnoughts and things like that. That's what I mean.
If you don't provide it to them,
like what he meant, tea and coffee and the economics part.
Their wealth is going to drop. There's going to be more radicals, and you're going to have to deal with that. So underlying Victoria 3 is this very complex economic simulation, and that's what drives the game and even its politics.
Yeah, like that's cool that you can build a society and like it's not just war, you know? It's not just like pump out an army and invade. It's like there's a lot to it.
We are not making a war game.
That's cool.
We are not making
yeah,
a
see.
map.
Yes. Yes. Preach,
that
brother.
Takes a little bit of the back seat. That is not to say that war isn't in the game, of course. It's a historical simulation of the 19th century, and the 19th century was not, unfortunately, entirely peaceful. So war, of course, happens. It can be a way to get things you want, but anything you can get through war,
I think this guy is
you can
Dutch.
also get through diplomacy.
Ideally, you should want to try to solve this conflict before it escalates into war. If it does escalate into war, maybe that'll work out well for you.
Or Swedish.
But a lot of your people are going to die one way or another. It's always best to try to avoid it, if possible.
The Victorian era.
Start the game in 1836.
Yeah, I want that shirt. How much is that shirt?
One thing that was definitely happening there was immense
diplomacy more interesting than war. I agree.
Political change.
And economics too.
To previous eras in history, life could change rapidly in 5 to 10 years just from the result of a new invention. And that, of course, makes the inward aspects, the aspect of focusing on your people and their lives that much.
Danish? No way.
The 19th century is also a fantastic era.
That's full
for
Swede.
alternative history, because there is so much potential for things to have played out differently, but also because it's the era that shaped our era. I think it's really exciting.
Oh, where's this video from? Never found it. It is on the official Paradox YouTube channel.
World right here.
Yep, we'll get into gameplay in just a little bit. I'm just taking a look at some things that I may have missed. I've never played a Victoria 3 game before, so I want to learn as much as I can.
Game with a lot of mechanics and potential complexity. And that's not something we want to change.
The Abba Empire?
We have prioritized accessibility, not in the sense of wanting to streamline or just make the game simpler, but build, you know, the interface, the tools, and the information that the player needs to be able to grasp and understand and eventually, you know, master all of this complexity.
Chad, do you think I have to play Victoria 2 before I play Victoria 3, or do you think 3 will be
economists and politicians
enough?
We can sit and theorize.
Do I have to go back and play 2?
Then these knock-on effects would happen, and then society would be shaped this way. This game actually lets you play out and test your theories. So while you have people working in your textile mills, that doesn't just mean like, you know, 15 luxury clothes, happiness goes up. No, what it means is that you produce some more luxury clothes. The people buying luxury clothes are the upper strata of your society.
Ah, yes, the upper strata.
Their happiness doesn't just go up. What happens is the price of luxury clothes goes down, so their income will stretch higher. Their wealth will go up. They will gain more loyalists in their pop. That means their interest group will become happier and will support your laws more. So by expanding this textile mill, the knock-on effect is that now you might be able to pass a law without the landowners.
You can bribe people with fancy clothes? Wow.
This is a sort of long-term thinking and
Wow.
creative solutions that we really want players to first theorize and then carry out and test the theory and see if there are
That's
any
cool.
additional things that they didn't think about.
What really
Zune can watch the pinned message at the top of chat.
All of these things, the ability to build a complex economic model.
Play
with
both,
everything
3 before
tied
2,
into
1
each
morning,
other,
1
a
evening.
game
Oh.
where the politics is not just a sideshow, but so core.
Are there good mods
to
for
the
Victoria
experience
2?
of the game, and a game where everything ultimately hooks back, and you can look at your society and you can feel the decisions and changes made along the way.
I'm just really excited to be a part of this project, and the players who have been waiting for Victoria 3 for years and years and years, I really hope that in the end we will be able to provide you with the armchair economist, armchair politician kind of fantasy that you've been waiting so patiently for.
Oh, there's
So
no
that was a little
mods?
bit about the overall vision of Victoria 3. But of course, there's a lot of detail and nuance to all of this and all of the features and mechanics we have in the game. So starting soon, we are going to be covering
Soon.
a lot of these in common
Soon, chat,
diaries.
soon.
And next up is a pretty significant overview of a lot of the basic things in Victoria 3, like pops. How do they work? What are they? And what changes? And what things have actually made it deeper since the previous Victoria games here. We'll be talking about buildings, capacities, and a
Buildings.
whole lot
Now
of
we're
other
talking.
things.
Now we're talking. All right, we're almost there. We're almost going to go to gameplay soon.
It was the best of times.
Oh, man.
It was the worst of times.
Ah, the old coal mine.
The Victorian age promised a grand tomorrow.
Wow, dude.
Now, you get to build it.
Wow, man. "25th of October, boys." I've got to say, to me, the detail on the world map like that is super detailed. I mean, that even now, that still to me looks like a super zoomed out Anno 1800, which is nothing but a compliment, because like Anno's super cool and looks beautiful, and this game looks ridiculously cool. I like how the train was like scaled up too, and that you can see things a little easier. Oh, this is a pre-order bonus too. If you pre-order, you get songs from Victoria 2. Chad, who you playing as, by the way? I was asking. I saw a lot of France. I saw a lot of Prussia, Ottomans, Dutch. Where are the Danes? Read the word of Lego early. Austria? Oh, yeah. All right, this is it. The main event. We'll skip a lot of their waiting. All right. So yeah, so going back to what I was saying, I've never played a Victoria game before, which seems like I missed out. But the fact that it's been such a long time since Victoria 2 came out, and since Victoria 3 is pretty much right around the corner, like a month and a couple weeks, that's going to be sweet. So I'm very excited to... I've played Hearts of Iron a little bit, and I played a lot of Anno 1800, and I played a little bit of Civ, and it seems to combine those things together. At least that's how the new version looks at the surface. To a noob who've never played it before, for those of you who played Victoria 2 and loved it, I see Victoria 3, and I'm like, oh, damn, you guys were playing that over there the whole time? Man, I wish I would have played that. So that's going to be cool. No EU4? I don't think I've played EU4 on the channel, but that is a game I am more and more interested in. I'll tell you what, I was never interested in games like Hearts of Iron or Crusader Kings 3 You know, like when Crusader Kings 3 came out and I played that, like I did a deal with them and I was like, damn, Crusader Kings is a lot of fun. And then EU4 is just like a crazy like level on top of that. Crazy. All right. Let's see where we're going here. I will start right about here. All right. Mere moments away now. Chat, I want to play as the ancient Empire of Canada. Can I do that? Be interesting. Can you do that? Like if you make a colony somewhere and they decide to revolt. Sorry, Brits, but if you make a colony somewhere and they happen to revolt, can you play as the revolution side? Is that something you can do? And invent freedom and burgers. You can do that? Oh my god. So if you colonize a location and that colony decides to revolt and break away, you can then play as the... Oh my god, what can't you do in this game? Dude, I bet this game doesn't have first person.
The best of times.
Unplayable.
It was the worst of times.
Ooh, unifying Italy. That would be cool. Wait a minute. Just to take a peek, though. I'm sure we'll get more of a look later. Oh, the dreadnoughts, baby. Yeah. Look at those gargantuan behemoths. Obviously scaled up for the map, but, like, damn. That is cool.
The Victorian age promised.
Fancy hat.
A grand tomorrow.
What was that country there? Did you see that? It was called... something called Spain?
Get to build it.
Never heard of it. Oh, that looks cool, building a city like that. Very Parisian, those types of cities. Is it 1836 to 1936 as Victoria 2? That's a good question in chat. Chat, can you confirm that? I know nothing, so please do, if you know, shout it out. It is? So it's 1836 to 1936. Wow. So you have 100 years to build your empire.
Hello!
Everyone, I am Björn, community manager for Victoria 3. I'm sitting here today with you on this grand day, together with Martin, aka Wiz, game director of Victoria 3. And here we have Mikael, aka Lechek on the forums, the lead designer for Victoria 3. And today we bring you the grand premiere of Vicky 3 on stream. How do you feel?
I am so hyped.
I am
I'm actually
too.
gonna be playing some Vicky 3. I've been waiting for this for a long time. Like, I've really missed streaming. And you are slightly terrified?
I'm just slightly terrified. It's going to be fine.
Yeah, their audio's all over the
Playing a live
place.
game on stream for the first time, it's not a thing. It's
It'll be fine.
It's going to be fine. We are here to
Yes.
tell you when you do it wrong.
Yes.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah,
Back
And we
seating.
will be playing as the Blorg.
the Blorg, yes, the friendly
No.
Blorg.
We
Blorg.
will actually be playing as the Netherlands.
Oh!
Unity vote, which I
One's
think
in the chat if you're Dutch.
watching probably know. And we have 6 options to choose between. It was
Oh, look at that
Dynamo
menu.
victory for the Netherlands, although Krakow was a contender as well. And yeah, so we'll be going in with the Netherlands. We'll be doing a bit of industrialization, some political change, doing some colonial gameplay, and just generally focusing on showcasing the game, talking about the decisions we're making, and the different mechanics of Victoria 3.
We'll be trying to do some industrialization. We'll see what our pops have to say about it.
It'll be fine.
And of course, the reason why we're here today is because we just opened up the pre-orders for Vicky 3. And we'll let you know that the release date will be October 25th.
Yep, so it's not that far away now. But, important disclaimer, this is not the final version. There's gonna be hot code.
Yes.
I have missed saying that.
Hot, hot, hot. It's like,
Yeah, there's gonna be some bugs that we haven't fixed yet. There's gonna be some non-final AI.
No.
There's gonna be all of these things that you would associate with hot code and that you're going to completely ignore and go post about on Reddit after this. So let's hop into the game.
yes, and we're gonna be playing sandbox mode. for
Yes.
this.
We
Oh,
have
there's-
this whole objective system.
there's a few different
and
game
we'll probably
modes.
be playing a bit with that at later times, but right now we just want to show the game very open-ended.
Yep. And yeah, when is Queen Victoria getting into Fortnite? We are still working on that collaboration, but yeah, any
Whoa.
day we hope. So yeah, I feel like it's a
This
good
load
marriage
screen
between
reminds me of Anno's
83
load
and
screen as well.
Fortnite. It's like very similar games.
Yes.
Very cool.
Of course. As soon as we implement
I'm gonna sit over here with the
on
guys.
the map as well. Okay,
I'm gonna
so
be over
here
here.
we are in the lobby. Should be pretty familiar to anyone who's played
Hey, guys.
pretty much any Paradox Grand Strategy game. We have Netherlands, we have the rest of the world, but we don't care about the rest of the world. We're gonna be playing the Netherlands.
Yep.
And we have our little home territories back here. We have some colonial subjects, but you know what? Enough with the lobby. Let's get into the
Okay.
game.
You sure you don't want to like just quickly go through what we see here?
Look at that. The
See
Netherlands
that
has a lot more water than it
Well,
does
we are
nowadays.
the 10th rank in the world. A decent amount of prestige, of course, because we have our colonies, even though we're
Cool.
pretty small in Europe. Okay, army, 20,000 men, 25,000.
Did they get
size
quieter?
navy. Yeah, we're a decent mid-sized
Yes.
country.
But let's hop in, because we can look at all of this in
Okay.
game.
Yeah,
and
we
there's some interesting context.
Their audio's
playing
all over the place, so
Netherlands
sorry,
in
chat.
1836, which is, of course, that only 6 years ago, historically, Belgium rebelled and broke away. And the Netherlands actually starts not particularly well industrialized, considering its
How dare he?
history, how literate the population is, and so on. And there is a very good reason for that. It's because the Netherlands' early industrialization effort was pretty much all done in Belgium. And when Belgium left, so did those Dutch Belgian factories. So our neighbors start a lot more industrialized than we are, and we start with some claims on them. Treaty of London isn't a thing yet, but we do have colonies.
That we do.
I just want to take Belgium. For it's also instilled in me since our last EU4 stream where we took Belgium as Congo.
Yes, well, that might end up having to fight Britain, so let's just see where we can go. But yes, so besides our home territories and some minor territories in the Americas,
That's true. Belgium has
we
chocolate,
also have the
so they have a little
Dutch
advantage over the
East
Dutch.
Indies, which is a colonial tag. It's not the Dutch East India Company, because that's not a thing anymore, but it is a Dutch East Indies, which is actually a playable tag and a subject of us, so we don't manage them directly, but we do have some ability to interact with them, to get them some territories, and hopefully they'll be producing some nice resources for us.
Yep.
And it's a little bit of a interesting Indonesian setup. There's a lot of different tags, but tell you what, we'll hop up more to this later, so let's go back home.
Dude, that is really
Alright.
smooth, that zooming
Yeah,
in and out of the
what do
map
you
like
wanna
that.
show off?
Very.
To begin with, there's just so much. It's
Very
actually
nice.
a little bit like, where do we even start? Kind
Well,
of
it is
situation.
a Paradox game, so we do have the notifications at the top as usual, which is
Yeah.
a good indicator of where to start
Ooh.
your game.
I foolishly unpaused. I'm gonna not do that yet. So of course we can start by picking our research. Or
Super, super early nuke. No one would
Yeah.
suspect it.
So, and in research, in Victoria 3, you have 3 research trees: production, military, and society. You can set one
Ah.
research focus on any sort of unlocked, right, available technology in one of the trees, and you will also get passive tech spread of technologies that's known to other countries in each tree. And how fast you get technology depends on factors such as your literacy, building universities, and certain laws. But yeah, we have a pretty decent starting level of tech. Basically, we have this sort of European baseline. We're not cutting edge, but we're definitely not behind either.
I'm thinking we should go for canneries.
All right, why do we want to go for canneries?
Because it will allow us to use our fish production, which we have some,
Oh.
given that we're a coastal nation, to feed
Clever.
our people. Get some more groceries. Get the pop growth going a little bit.
Bro, just go to
and,
Wendy's.
Generally not have to expand our farms quite so much.
All right, then let's pick that, and then let's actually have a look at our buildings.
Does anyone in chat know where Wendy's
Context
is?
for what you are talking about?
So we can view the buildings, of course, on a state level, but we can also see an overview of them here. So we already have food industries in Holland, 2 levels of them. But as we can see here, we can't actually do any proper fish canning yet.
All right. Yeah, and we're not producing any booze either. We need our colonial subject to make more sugar, I think.
Yeah,
we're gonna lose money on this right now. I also think it's because we're exporting a lot of sugar, but that's something we can look into later.
Sweet.
Because the Netherlands, of course, is pretty big on taking resources from its colonies and sending them to other places to make money.
Mm-hmm.
What other buildings do we have in our country?
Sorry.
Before we hop into it's gonna be a lot. We're gonna have a lot to go over, so let's try and focus on one thing at a time.
Yes. Sorry, you were saying.
Yes. What other buildings do we have in our country?
What other buildings? Right. So, food industries, of course, some textile mills, furniture manufactories, glassworks, paper mills. We have a pretty good section of light industry, I would say. We don't have a lot of steel mills and some arms industries here, but we could move into that a little bit later on, I think, once we get some more mines going.
Logging camps?
Basically, what we have is a consumer goods industry. We have some consumer goods being produced, we have some luxuries being produced, and we are kind of self-sufficient when it comes to making guns and ships for ourselves.
Oh, universities too.
But we have no heavy industry, and there's also a very good reason we have no heavy industry, because the Netherlands is kind of awful when it comes to industrial resources.
Right. We can see that on the
a spreadsheet
screen.
Simulator. Yeah, I could see that.
The industrial goods, we don't even have any coal in our market. Is that even right? Yeah.
No, that's right. We're not using coal for anything.
Yeah. So we have hardwood. Some. For some reason, we are.
Can anyone see their house from here?
Camps.
Yeah,
we have quite a bit of
Indonesia,
dye, which is fantastic. Yeah, exactly. One of the few countries I think in Europe that starts with a good supply of dye in the early game. Glass, iron, but yeah, we need more coal, and we're not producing any iron of our own. We're just importing iron.
Yep. So, but let's go back to iron actually, because this is kind of relevant. Is one of the things we can do is we can actually see where it exists on the map. So now we have this thing called show potentials on the map, and we can see that there is 0 potential for iron in the Netherlands.
Ooh. Yeah.
Nothing. There is a whole bunch in Belgium, there is in Germany, there is in Sweden, and so on, but we are completely dependent.
Oh, that's all the iron.
Domestically. There might be a little bit in our colonies. Let's hover over to Indonesia and have a look. Yeah, barely.
Wow.
We have a tiny sliver over there in Sulawesi, which is not even a region we've really taken over yet.
Yeah.
So we're
Brunei
not
has iron.
great on industrial resources. This is actually kind of the challenge of the Netherlands. You start with high literacy, you start with colonies, you start with a fairly developed country, but you have like no potentials for industrial resources. And I would say this is a very significant thing, and I think you often have to think about when you start a country and you start playing in the Victoria Tree, is what resources can I get for myself? In what resources do I have to trade for? And what resources might I want to, say, acquire?
Yes.
through non-diplomatic means.
Yes. Yes.
That's a good way of saying it. I see a lot of people asking about map modes, and we get like a pre-taste here when you show the potential map, but maybe we should show the lens system here.
Sure. Yeah, that's a good idea. Mikael, take it away.
Yeah, I mean, so another resource that we didn't have any access to was coal. So I'm gonna take a peek at whether I can build that, and I will show you the lenses here as well. So the production lens shows me all of the production buildings that I can get. And under resources for coal mines, I see here that I have one option, and I can actually build some coal mines here in Galra. And what this did,
this is 1836.
when I went into this lens, it is changing the map mode automatically.
This is the very, very start
to
of the
give me
game.
an idea
It's
of,
January 2nd, 1836.
of the information that I need as I'm using this production map mode or production lens. So not only do I get access conveniently to my buildings here, but it also switches the mode so that I can see more information. That's
a
relevant.
whaling station?
Now I only have one choice here
Wow.
in Galre, because that's the only state with potential for coal.
Yeah, so we can get some coal, but like no iron. We'll be
No iron.
dependent on others for that. So
Exactly.
we'll have to think a bit smartly about how we actually want to build up our industry.
Yeah.
Because we don't really have the research potentials to do a very classical heavy industry run unless we want to just import a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
I heard there's this cool, not at all overpowered country in the north that tends to produce some iron.
Svadia.
Canada?
Svadia.
We should befriend the not overpowered country.
Yeah, no, that's true. Sweden does have a lot of benefits.
Yeah, they're going to need coal too if they're going to import iron.
Forestry and iron mines. So they do tend to run a surplus of that. So we
Yeah,
should
and I
be
believe
able
we
to-
are actually currently trading some iron
Du
with them.
gamla, du
Are we?
fri.
I think so.
trade routes. Iron
Yes, we are.
is indeed coming from
Ooh.
Sweden. Look at that.
That's where we get all our iron currently.
Yeah.
Swedish iron power our machines.
So given that we cannot at this point acquire any
Yeah, I like the
iron
map
ore,
details
we
too.
need to make sure that we nurture this relationship with
Yes.
Sweden. We can't be, for example, ending up in opposite sides of a war with them, because then we
Like,
will
I like how
lose
the
access
landscape
to
looks
their
better,
But it
even
may also
even
just
more
be
than
a
the
good idea for us to at least right now focus more on
like
consumer
Civ
industries
maps
and
or
things
Hearts
that
of
are
Iron or
our
anything.
strength,
I like this
rather
map
than
the
going
most
full
so far,
into
anyway.
defeat
Just how
part
it
with
looks
our
pretty
strength.
Yeah.
wise.
But more map modes.
Which reminds me, yeah. No, I'm getting so sidetracked here.
Yes.
Political lens gives me some options for different government buildings that I can build, which we'll get into later. Some decrees that I can choose, and some actions I can perform on a state-by-state level. But it also switches map mode to show me the power balance in my country, right? So here we have interest groups, which we'll look at in a minute. And how they are distributed, and how powerful they are. So we see the industrialists in Holland are by far the most powerful interest groups, which is going to help us liberalize, if that's indeed what we want to try to do.
That is definitely a thing we have going for us, is that we have a great, like a fairly good IG setup for liberalizing, because if you're starting as Russia, let's just say the industrialists are not particularly powerful.
Yep. So that's that. For the diplomatic lens and the diplomatic actions here, we can see at a glance, like, what countries like us, what countries don't. And this isn't just relations, right? This is
Attitude.
AI attitude, which is based on relations, but also includes other concerns like, do we have overlapping interests, and do we have
Norway's
the same
mad at us.
aspirations, and what's the size of our military, and so on, right? And we seem pretty harmless to most countries. Norway is real mad at us for some reason.
It's
And
because
Belgium.
we trade with Sweden. They don't like that.
Yes.
and Belgium, obviously, not particularly big fan of the Dutch.
Norway doesn't like that we produce fish. They want to produce all of them.
Will this be on Steam? I think so, yeah.
But,
was supposed to be on
yes,
Game Pass, but-
Britain we are doing well with. And for
Is
some
it still
reason
on Game Pass?
Russia is
Will it be on like
actually
day one
active.
Game Pass?
Diplomatic place.
We do
this
trade
Hmm?
quite a bit with Russia, I believe. So
Oh yes.
that might be why. But we
Yeah.
don't have to go into that.
Yeah. This is actually a sort of sub-map mode within the same diplomatic lens, which is diplomatic place. This shows us the.
Oh
different
yeah,
strategic
Anno 1800
regions
has
in the
naval
world
combat. Yep.
Where different diplomatic plays can transpire, and who has
Wow.
interests in what region, and lets us, of course, issue those diplomatic plays as well, and diplomatic actions, which we will take many of in a bit. Military map mode, not particularly exciting right now, but it does show us our headquarter here and our troop distribution right now, and lets us expand.
Ooh.
And the trade mode will show us the markets. where we can see, for example, that the Prussian market is one big blob instead of many, many tiny markets. And Hanover belongs to the British market, and so does, of course, Canada and Australia.
And India.
And
Yep.
India.
Yeah, well, you know, India obviously is not nearly as important as Canada or like Australia, those economic juggernauts of 1836.
Exactly, the fur trade. And
I, for
yes.
one, is shocked that England has so much influence in this game called Victoria.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
Right.
not for
Maple
long.
leaves
You
in
can
chat,
also
boys.
manually select these map modes and lock them onto the map.
Yes.
But I think we should be hopping on from
Dude,
map
this
mode.
is so much
You can see
information.
it, and so you
I
don't
love it.
have to be in the lens to look at the map mode. You can go, hey, I actually just want to play right
Yeah.
now with this map mode and lock it.
Yeah, and we do switch contextually all over the place, right? Like the standard of living, as you hover the standard of living map mode, we will also show you the distribution.
So one of the things I like to do when just starting at a new game is make some friends, because you never know when someone's gonna try and mess with you. And we've already seen that, like, we have several great powers. We've gotten a good start here. We have several great powers that like us. I would actually say that we are pretty
Oh,
much
yeah.
a lot
We'll stream
better
this
from
when
the
we
great
can.
powers here, which
And we'll
is
also
not that
make some videos
common,
on it too.
but nice.
Yeah.
I don't think America is presently that relevant, so
No.
we'll leave them alone.
Wow.
Britain, but they also love the Belgians, so I'm a
That
little more
hurt.
skeptical there.
Yeah.
So I would say, why don't we go ahead and suck up to Prussia and France? Let's play
Prussia
both sides
and
here.
France, yeah, why not? So we're gonna improve relations with them, right? Which is going to take some of our influence capital that we get from our power ranking, which is decent enough as we.
That's actually a good question from chat. Like, since not everyone might not be super familiar with this historical time period, so just like, what are the great powers in the
Of
world
course.
at this period of time?
And it's a very simple way to check it, because we can just look at the rankings. So let's have a peek. Yes, so the great powers are Great Britain, of course. It's the Victorian Age, they're number 1. France at number 2. Russia, Austria, Prussia, and the United States are currently the great powers. And then we basically have this whole system of power rankings. We have great powers, we have major powers, we have minor and insignificant powers, and we have a separate power ranking system for unrecognized countries, which is something we're going to get into a bit
Netherlands
later.
can go from 10 to
So
1.
the largest, like the most prestigious major power right now is actually East India Company, because of their enormous Indian economy. But of course they're a subject, so there's a limit to what they can do with that major power abilities. And then we have Spain, we have the Ottomans, and then we have us at number 10.
Yep.
Typically the great powers are going to spend a lot of time fighting and rivaling each other. And yeah, we've had the luck that they all seem to like us right now, which isn't something just like, oh, they're all set to love the Netherlands. This is just, yeah, we had a little bit of a luck of the draw for this particular stream.
Yeah.
Maybe Belgium is in the cards.
The question is also, how is the number of great powers determined? It's a fixed number of 6.
Protective?
No.
Cooperative?
It is not a fixed
That's
number of
interesting.
6. The way it works is that which power ranking you are is based on your prestige.
Yeah.
And if we hover over the prestige for Britain, we just lock the tooltip and we can see you did action lock. So, right, no, we cannot see. Yeah, we can see that if they're reduced below 221 for an extended time, the major power. So the way it works is that your power ranking is determined by your prestige compared to the global average prestige. So if you have a very high prestige compared to the global average, will be a great power. If you have a pretty high compared to the global average, will be a major power, and so on. So over time, typically the global average will go up. So the amount of prestige required to be a great power in 1836 will not be the same as the amount required in, say, 1895.
Ah, yes, of course.
There is no limit to how many great powers you can have, although it tends to end up being somewhere between 5 and 8.
Yeah.
But depending on who is doing well and who is not doing well.
I want
And
magic
it's all
powers.
relative, right? So if you have high enough, you could even become the only great power in the world. It's
Precisely.
extremely unlikely, but it could happen. And we can see here that we need to reach 245 in order to become a great power ourselves. And
That's a decent chunk, but it should be doable.
Yeah. Yes. Right. So where were we?
All right. Yes, we were starting to suck up to France and
Yes.
Prussia.
That we were.
And yeah, I think you already started improving relations with them, which is a
Yeah.
good way to start. Like we actually have pretty crappy relations with France, but I believe they have the conciliatory attitude, which is if you close the lens. Yes, which is basically an attitude is sort of boiled down. How will the AI relate between one, like what do they want to do with another country, so to speak? Everything from make them your vassal, become friends, and so on. And conciliatory attitude is an attitude where, as it says, I think we're enemies right now, but I don't think we should be anymore. So they're gonna try to befriend us again, which is actually quite nice because we do want to befriend them.
Yep.
And relations in this game is quite a strong effect that's gonna influence a lot what we're able to do with them. But I also don't think we should get too deep into diplomacy right now because we haven't even built a building yet.
No. And also to clarify to chat, like there's so much to go through. We cannot explain all the things at immediately, so we're going to have to take it a little bit step by step here. So there's going to be a bunch of stuff that is unexplained for a while, but hopefully we'll get to that soon enough.
Soon.
So
and yeah, just to answer a couple of questions, the attitude can absolutely change during the game, and you can even see at the breakdown what's causing the attitude. So it's not just like a black box. The game will explain that you have like an attitude score combined with their strategic desire, which is
there is so much information there that is so helpful.
The sort of, how do I relate to this other country? Like, how do I think this other country should have a relationship with me in the future? And that plus the attitude score.
Is Masuk a major power? Yeah, dude. He controls the spice.
Any questions about above that one? About the radio pack?
About the radio pack. So yeah, do you have an answer?
Yeah, absolutely. So there's a question about what the pre-order bonus, like what a radio pack is. If it's in-game music, yes, it is in fact in-game music, and it's awesome. I'm not entirely sure if we have gone out with all the details on it yet.
You can also play it outside of the game, right? If
yes.
you want to.
Yeah, no. You get it outside the game as well. But it is a lot of in-game music. I would love if we could get a confirmation from Control Room on whether we went down to the details on that yet. But for now, let's actually develop some economy, because that is kind of what this game is about, and we've been confusedly hopping between menus long enough, I think.
Yeah. So I don't care if it's suboptimal right now. I have decided that we are going to be.
How many DLC after this? 10 or 20?
So let's build some.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Right. Actually, let's not build fisheries in Friesland.
Yeah. What do you think the first DLC will be?
No fish.
Well, why not? What did
Monuments.
All right. So why did you change your mind?
Because I want to keep
monuments. It'll be monuments.
In
I'm calling it now.
Mostly.
There'll be a lot of monuments to build.
Tell it. The audience doesn't know.
Yeah.
They'll give you bonuses.
I don't know. It felt good. No. The efficiency here, the construction efficiency in Holland was slightly better, and I don't have a lot of construction capacity at the moment. And the efficiency lets me distribute that a little bit better.
All right.
It's honestly not a major decision. I just sort of felt like it, and this gives me a tiny little bonus.
You do also get the economy of scale bonus if you concentrate in a single state, but we do have the both states.
Yes.
That's not really
we also got a diplomatic thing from
Denmark.
Denmark.
I think Denmark wants to do something.
Oh, Denmark.
Uniforms and
Trade
vehicle
agreement.
packages.
Okay.
Denmark.
So Denmark wants to enter a trade agreement.
Denmark.
What a trade agreement is that it removes tariffs and administrative costs of trade routes between the two countries. Are we trading with Denmark? Or are they just hoping to trade?
I'm kidding. You Danes are cool.
I don't.
Denmark's cool.
I believe if you go into market, it's easier to go into the market lands and then look at their market rather than scrolling through all the possible things. It's not gonna switch because you have the panel open.
Yeah, no, but I can still see.
Hungarian paprika is a real change in Chile.
Okay.
So they're just.
Yeah, I guess they want to trade with us, but I would say it's not worth the influence.
What do you see from ANNO here already? The trading and stuff reminds me of ANNO. This is much more
capacity to do
much more involved, much more.
And every deal
realistic
reside
to
on
real
the
world,
diplomatic
but
action we
and the
maintain
world is
going to
1800
cost
as well.
influence. I would say it's not worth it.
And I loved
to
Anno
spend
1800, so this has got me really
influence
like
on
hyped for the whole the
non-existent
feeling
trade
of it.
deals with
Like this
Denmark
obviously
right now.
plays much different
Might
than
be worth
Anno,
it to sign a trade agreement with
but like this is
Sweden,
like a cool
because,
segue
then
from
we wouldn't
Anno
have to
to
pay
Victoria 3.
bureaucracy on all of those, like all that wood and iron we're importing, and we also wouldn't have to pay tariffs on it.
But yeah, if you like the trading and stuff of Anno
yes.
1800, this
So,
is much more in depth than
let's see if
that.
we can do that actually.
If you want that,
Trade agreement, and we can send one, but they would not accept it.
We would probably have to improve relations with them a little bit for
A
them to accept.
little bit, just like a couple points.
Yeah.
Let's do that then.
So now we're spending the diplomacy points. I mean, it might be worth mentioning also how it differs with the points up there. There's not like EU4, for example, where you have a bank that you spend. This works slightly different.
Exactly. You don't build this stuff up. It's not like we get 400 and store it. It's rather that we have a total
there's
of
naval battles in this game.
1,200,
Yep,
and we are
and ground battles
like
too.
Our capacity, and we're currently using 800 of that capacity. And once you run out, you won't be able to do more things. Like if we wanted to also improve relations with Britain, and we didn't have enough influence, then we'd have to like stop improving relations with Prussia or something, so that we would be removing one of those like expense posts right now.
Interesting.
And improving relations, I mean, it is something that eventually you're going to be done. Like you can't improve relations any further. But if you stop, then it's going to start decaying, right? So and the other side can actually damage relations as well. So you might want to actually keep doing that if it's a relationship that really matters to you. Pacts, of course, like subject relationships, they just retain their costs.
Do you think you've
forever.
heard of Great Britain before?
Let go of them.
Yeah, no, that's new to me. I've never heard of Great Britain before.
So yeah, let's get back to the economics then. So
Yes.
we're building some fisheries.
Is that
and
like
it's gonna
England?
cost us some money. We've started having a little negative balance.
Yes, but we can see here the number is not red yet. Actually, it is white instead of green or red.
Craig of
And the
Texas,
reason
thanks
for
for
that
becoming
is
a Raptor
because,
Egg earlier
this is a
today too.
temporary
Thank you very
expense.
much for your membership, dude.
So we actually have.
Thanks
a
for Smack and
positive
Join.
balance
Thanks for all the super
internally,
chats. Thanks for the
but
likes,
while
boys.
we're doing this construction,
Appreciate the support.
it's just going to go into the negative a little bit. This is fine. We have a gold reserve of 423,000.
Wow.
We're also able to take on quite a bit of debt, so we're nowhere near like we could definitely be building more stuff right now.
Yeah, so this is no problem actually for us. But we can,
I would say that our construction is going very slowly.
it is.
So why is that?
Why is that? It's because we actually don't have a lot of construction industry built in.
You were on the right tab.
Built in the Netherlands.
And
We
they're
only have
also
2
using
levels.
a very inefficient method.
They are. We're only building wooden buildings because you need iron to build iron frame buildings. We can do.
You
this,
can choose what materials
and
buildings are made with. That's
No,
crazy.
We can do it. It would let us build faster, but it would consume more iron, which would increase the price of iron, and it would also increase the demand from Sweden, which means the Swedish iron mines would be making more money.
I would say
at our
even more
expense.
crucially, it requires tools, and we have no tools.
We have
or at
no
the very least,
tools.
we have very few tools.
That's
Oh
horrible.
boy.
We have no tools. We need tooling industries in Holland.
I would say so, yes.
Yes. So we can't move to that yet, which means that maybe building fisheries was not the right
No,
call.
I think what we should really be doing is we should be expanding our construction industry a little bit, because yes, we could be going hard here trying to get the problem is if we build tooling workshops, then those are going to need iron. They're going to need wood. We're already dependent on import of wood and iron.
Yep.
They're going to produce tools. They're going to use a lot of iron. In addition, we're going to need more iron for the iron frame buildings.
Yes.
So while it's definitely a viable strategy for us to try and get all access to all of these goods, personally, I would actually start by just going, you know what? For now,
The trading
let's
seems
just
so
build
cool. The
everything
economics in
with
this
wood,
game is so cool.
and let's keep going for now.
Expand our construction sector.
I'm so glad I expected
now
this, but not like
we can spread it out a little
like
bit,
this, you
which
know?
will give
This is
us some
crazy.
local efficiency bonuses.
this is
or
very
we can
cool. Like you could
concentrate
choose
it on
what your
Holland
buildings
to
are
get
made
the
of.
larger efficiency
That's so
bonus there.
cool.
I'm thinking at least in our core lands, we want to
Yeah.
have one in each.
Let's pop up a few more construction industries.
Actually,
And a little
like so.
trick we can do then is go into the construction queue and move the construction sectors to the top,
Indeed.
since they will actually cause the others to build
Yep.
faster. Oh,
Should disable that Windows button.
yes.
I'm trying to hotkey.
So yeah,
There we go.
just for context, what does it cost us to? What does it cost to construction sector?
Right. So construction always costs construction, but construction is a kind of currency or capacity that's allocated to construction projects. But the actual cost here is twofold. It's material goods, and right now we're using wood
Manpower.
and fabric to construct, and it's also wages.
Oh,
Because
wages.
all buildings in Victoria 3 are staffed by pups. We haven't even talked about pups.
What?
So the construction sectors currently are
Wow.
mostly laborers and a few clerks and bureaucrats
Poglad.
that run the operation.
That's some hefty pog right
And,
there. Wow.
So this is the cost. It's sort of mostly wood, one half wood, half of it is fabric, and half of it is wages.
It's more. It's like 75% wood. But yeah. Oh, you mean right.
Yeah, no, in terms of total cost.
And the way
Yeah,
it
this
works
is
with
on
construction
Steam
industries
for
is that
pre-order.
They will always their government.
But it's
buildings,
out on the
you will
25th of
always,
October.
Be paying wages on them, but they will only be using materials
Soon.
relative to you
Soon.
building things. So you can sort of just leave your construction industries.
I'm
idling in
amazed
order
by
to
that.
save money when you're not.
The
able to
economics
build
was cool,
things,
but the construction's like, what?
It
You
is
even
nice
put
to be
that
able
in?
to build things.
Wow.
And you know what? Let's stop pausing so much. Let's we can just leave the game running at a slow speed. I know it's like paradox instinct to just pause whenever you make decisions,
It really is.
but
It really is. We will run it.
let's go.
I wanted to ask you to segue into something that's quite important for the game, which is interest groups and popsen. So, like, let's because I don't think we looked at that. What is the political situation in the Netherlands right now? I mean, it's a pretty important part of the game.
Yeah. No, we can take a look. So we are a constitutional monarchy, meaning that we are a monarchy, but we actually have a voting system. So census suffrage is our distribution of power. So the people do ostensibly decide what goes on here. Which means that we also have some political parties, or in this case, we only have one, actually. We have the Free Trade Party that has all of the votes, and the Industrialists are the only
Yeah,
ones
I
that have
believe in
joined
this case there should be more parties, but this is a part where we're still doing a lot of tweaking and fixing.
Yeah. So they have received. Which
My
is
brain
probably
is
why
melting.
they're the
There is
ones,
so much.
that are as powerful as they are. But they're not in government even. The petite bourgeoisie and the evangelical church share the government spots, and as a result, our legitimacy is not fantastic, which means it's going to take a little bit longer for us to pass laws. Our people are quite happy with us, though. Like, we can see there's no actually angry interest groups. Most of them are quite satisfied.
Well, just wait until we start making changes.
Yeah. But at the moment, we get actually some benefits from our happy interest groups as well. The landowners provide us with family ties. It gives us more influence. And the evangelical church gives us more authority, and the petite bourgeoisie gives us more bureaucracy. That's very symmetrical at the moment. But there's lots of other kinds of effects that they can lend as well, and negative effects if they were angry.
Yep, exactly. I was going to say, so you see here the cards which will activate when they reach certain approval thresholds.
Yeah.
And when you drop down below,
Yeah, look at those menus, man.
Molasses instead of the bonuses.
Exactly. So, for example, here we can see that our 51 bureaucracy includes 10% bonus, so about 40-ish from the petite bourgeoisie. So if we we increase our spending of bureaucracy a little bit and then lose the benefit of their approval, then we're going to go in the negative of bureaucracy. And
Let's
we're gonna
unpause again.
figure out some other way.
I know
Oh
we
my
have a
God.
lot to talk about.
I keep hitting that pause button.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, right. So I think this is going to be even relevant when we actually feel like there is a law we're going to pass, and I think there are definitely laws that are relevant for us to pass.
Yep.
But for now, you know, we're just developing a little bit. We're trying to improve things.
Yep.
Like, what would you say? Do we have any real problem areas in our country? Like, do we have if we're aiming to industrialize, if we're aiming to catch up to all the things we actually lost in Belgium? What issues do we have to deal with? Because I think one would definitely be that while we have
Build a
reasonably
McDonald's.
decent literacy, it could be better, and that's because of
Schools?
qualifications.
More schools?
Yes.
So this is a really relevant thing for the pop, and something you're gonna have to deal with and think about when you're passing laws.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
What's
Our
up, Zane?
literacy rate, so about half the people of Holland can currently read and write. That doesn't necessarily only improve. That could actually decline if people get a lower access to education. And at the moment, they have we actually have a decent school system, right?
Yeah, but we can't make it better right now.
We cannot make it better.
Now Russia wants
because we're
something up
locked.
here.
Russia
wants
wants
a
a
trade
trade
agreement.
agreement. We do trade with Russia,
We
right?
do trade with Russia.
Yeah, let's
Go ahead and
accept that
accept.
one. That costs us 100 influence. That is worth it.
Okay.
It isn't without
Interesting.
downsides, though, because it does mean that we will not be collecting tariffs
Yeah.
from them. So,
But I think we're all right on that right now.
yeah, yeah, and we're gonna want the lumber that they provide in order to build all of our things. Now the construction industry, the first one is going to be done, and we're going to be increasing our construction capacity soon. And yes, but I think the main issue that I saw was the lack of tools.
Yeah.
We can either import that or we can create our own domestic source.
Can't we make our
and
own
either
through
way,
the
we are
metal that
going
we're
to need
importing?
more iron. So
Yeah.
I think we are gonna want that additional trade agreement with Sweden whenever they're open to it, which is gonna take a little bit of time.
Yeah.
But that
During
would take some of our
I
iron.
think Great Britain
The
wants
tools
a
are
trade
gonna be way
agreement.
more
Everyone wants to
way
trade
more
with us
expensive.
right now, but we're not gonna be able to trade with absolutely everyone.
Yeah. I actually. Oh, it's so.
Are we
close,
gonna let
it's
it
so
time out?
close, it's so close.
Yeah, we're just gonna let it time out.
Oh, here's another factor. The ideological similarities of our governments gives us a +9. So we don't want to be changing. If we want that trade agreement, where we can't be having any drastic changes in laws right now either.
But let's ignore a little bit the offers we're getting and think about. So iron. So we can
Yeah,
trade
okay.
for iron with Sweden,
Mhm.
but of course there is a lot of other countries also trading with iron for Sweden. So how then are we gonna get iron? Let's think about other ways to get iron, because I think there was some iron over in Indonesia, and we might also wanna just generally.
We can make wooden tools too, but they'll break at twice
from
the rate.
perspective
Oh, wow.
of what if we just wanna look for iron?
Sure.
Bro, it's in Brunei.
So I'm gonna
Brunei,
go
sir.
back in here and look at the potentials. There's some irons here.
Yes, 21. There's also some in Brunei, from what I could see.
in Brunei.
North Borneo.
Good.
They have.
Good.
They did have some iron.
It's not a
there,
lot, but
nice.
it's iron.
Yeah.
Does Brunei have any friends?
Do they have friends?
They have some trade agreements, but
Trade
that's about it.
agreements, Some
The
some
AI is
prospective
very fond
trade.
of trade agreements in this version
Yeah.
of the game, by the way. This is a slightly older version of the game.
What are you thinking? This sounds
I am
nefarious.
thinking that not exactly right now, but we should start thinking about tooling industries. But I
Mm.
think that we should be thinking either to bring them into our customs union and encouraging them to build iron mines, or we should take them over directly.
Right, right.
So do you have a preference?
Friendship is mandatory, you say.
I think let's try for the customs union,
Mhm.
and if that doesn't work, let's go the nuclear option.
Cool.
Chat is going to be very disappointed that you went with that.
I mean, it isn't all that Dutch to be befriending the Indonesians instead of smacking them around, but yeah. So let's see, how would they feel about the customs union then?
So
we actually need to improve relations to the point where they are cordial.
They are needs to be at least cordial for that.
Yes, but we can actually see the acceptance if you don't do it on the lens. This is probably a tooltip we should improve. We can see if they would accept it if we're cordial. Interactions.
And that is going to
Invite
be
to customs union.
Invite to customs union here. And they are saying no to that with a rather large acceptance score.
Yeah, we might be able to get over this, but it's actually going to be a lot of work.
The attitude is the big issue here.
Yeah.
Which is because
they really have a particularly strong view of us right now, so they're kind of cautious towards us. Yeah. You know what? Let's start gearing up those tooling workshops. Let's see if we
Make
can
them
get
tools, baby.
Sweden without getting infamy.
Yeah.
Let's unpause. Take your thumb up the spacebar, Mikael.
Tooling workshop.
Bad.
There we go.
Bad.
Holland.
But
Let's
if
go
we
with
cannot get all the iron we need through trade,
Yeah.
we are going to get the iron we need through alternative trade.
Yes.
Well, there's not the mystery what the chat wants. Which
No, the
they
chat
want to
has
go.
made it very clear what they want, but we aren't here just to wage war.
They want
We're only
dino
here to wage
nuggies.
war out of economic
Chat
necessity.
wants dino nuggies. I know chat. I know what they want.
So we're building up our construction sectors. We have built 2 levels already. The amount hasn't increased a whole lot, though.
I know what you want,
And
chat.
That's because
guess
they haven't
it
been employed
depends-
yet.
Exactly. Because even though we finish the buildings, it doesn't mean that the buildings have actually finished recruiting, which they have to do, or else they will not be able to produce enough. But it looks like it's going, at least.
Yeah, this game looks
they
like it's
are
going to have a lot of
hiring,
tutorials, but then
albeit
also
slowly,
like
might be
in-game
because of our
help, which is
literacy
cool
rate.
because then you can just look at a glance to get information.
But,
Even if you're a pro
but
and you
yeah,
need to
they
check
will
something.
eventually staff up.
Interesting. We're being offered something here. So this is a country in Indonesia, and they want to go into a defensive pact with us.
Kutai.
And they're actually sweetening the deal. So they're saying if we agree to defend them and not eat them, they will go into they will give us an obligation, which is something like a hook from CK3. It's basically something we can use to make them agree to something we want. For instance, we might want to bring them into a market or make them a subject.
Yeah.
So it's also going to be very cheap.
Yeah, Crusader Kings. Yeah, there's a little bit of that in here too, yeah, for
So I
some of the
actually think
menus.
Let's go ahead and accept.
Yeah.
And let's see if we can do something with this obligation.
Yeah,
Because
it only costs us 75. That's really
Yeah, this is fine.
Pause.
Let's see if we can do something with this obligation.
good. Yeah.
We don't want a trade agreement this because we're not trading with them, but I think we
Yeah.
want them in our customs union.
Yeah. So they would not accept that,
But
but
we have an obligation.
we have an obligation, so we can still do that. We can use an obligation and pull them in. There
Right.
we go.
And now let's look at our market in the map mode. We can
Yes.
see.
What did this do for us?
So what the customs union is, it's kind of a pseudo subject relationship in that they're able to leave it anytime they want, but it's not great for them because they will grow over time. But what it did is this actually pulled them into our market. So anything they build, for instance, let's look at the resources in their little state there. They have access to some coal, some log, they have access to a bunch of plantation resources, and anything they build now, anything they produce is going to be available in our market.
Yep.
Which, yeah, so as they build up their economy, we also get access to those resources, and most crucially, any consumer goods we produce will also be sold in Kutai. So we have more people to buy stuff that they don't need, which will make us money.
That's
Yes, good. Purchase and
Consumerism in the
consume.
1800s. Wonderful.
Good.
Cool. Did we start building a tooling workshop? Yes, we did.
Ah, so now we're making
we
tools
started,
out of iron.
We started
Cool.
building it, yeah, but we're
Let's,
still working on our construction.
Let's pop up to speed 3.
And actually, I wanna
Mhm.
emphasize those before the fishing wharfs, I think.
Yes.
All right.
Let's also pop up to speed 3.
Speed 3. There we go.
And I just want to calm chat a little. Like, war is part of the game, but it's not
Yes.
the main part
And it's
of
not
the game.
going to be the focus of this stream. We're gonna be playing the game. We're probably gonna be beating someone up. I'm sure there will be a war before the end of this stream, but not exactly right now.
Hold your horses.
Can I issue this trade?
Sue.
I do
Not
believe
yet.
there's one more thing we could be doing to get some iron actually,
Mhm.
which is that I believe that we could be establishing a colony in Sulawesi, because there was some iron over there as well.
Ooh,
Yes.
nice. That we are going to do.
Yes, so this is distinct from the regular like conquering and so on, and it's because the country here, Sulawesi, we're not gonna get a very slow colony, but this is also something we can look into when we've done some research.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, but it'll be fine. We'll get something. Everyone we're sending there is dying, but it's early access. It's an early access colony.
Yeah.
We'll fix it.
Okay.
We'll fix it in post release.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, but we only have that one colony, but it's still growing so slowly. This is because of malaria, isn't it?
Wow.
That's exactly
And
the
note
reason
that
why.
the timer there is not to finish the colony. The timer is to get one more province.
One more
but
province. Yeah.
Sulawesi is decentralized. Let's have a look at Sulawesi, the country.
But hey, we can build an iron mine already. Let's look at.
Yes. Sulawesi.
Yeah.
Yes, precisely. So you can see that they call it decentralized power. Let's also close the lens so we get the whole view on them. And you can see that they don't have a lot of the regular like diplomacy and so on, because they are a non-centralized country. They're not playable and they don't have most of the regular mechanics. What they basically have is that they can be colonized instead of, you don't have to conquer them to take their land. They can rise up if the tension, which is down there, gets high, and it's going to depend on how quickly we colonize, basically. The faster we colonize them, the faster tension goes up.
Yeah.
And if they end up attacking, they're gonna raise some battalions, we might get a war in that way. But yeah. Either way, I think that we are definitely gonna have to prioritize doing something about our early access colony once we finish researching canneries.
We have some event going on here too.
Okay.
We have inefficient agriculture in Dutch Ghana. The existence of subsistence farms offends the industrialists, apparently. Their undeniable inefficiency should be immediately addressed.
Note that they're somehow not offended by subsistence farms back in Holland.
No.
They're just like no subsistence farms in Dutch Ghana.
That's right. So do we want to, if we do discourage subsistence farming, we get some migration attraction, which might be nice. Upper strata pops will become radical, though.
Yeah, but that's in Dutch Ghana.
Yeah.
I think we definitely should agree with their little pet project here.
Yeah.
We might also get some migration to Dutch Ghana. Let's have a look at Dutch Ghana since it's relevant here. But let's go ahead and you can pause when there's an event so that it doesn't automatically select.
Yeah. But I have already agreed.
Yes.
So
Perfect.
here we have it. Discourage subsistence farming.
We should also head over to
Nice.
Dutch Ghana so they can see what we're talking about.
Yeah, maybe you should explain what subsistence farmers are.
Ooh,
And
Java.
it's not over here.
That's where the
It's,
coffee comes from.
Shouldn't there be a go-to button here?
There should be, but I don't see it.
There.
Hmm?
There is a search provided.
Indeed.
Yes, I thought
There
so.
we go. Yeah, of course.
They've been moving around everything in the
Yes.
interface lately.
Yes.
Okay, so this is our little
so-
African colony. We do have
yeah.
several colonies, actually.
But
they're
this
all-
is not actually a growing colony.
Oh,
This
right.
is-
No, because it's actually just on the border with Ashanti, who are not a
Exactly,
decentralized
exactly.
power.
So
You're
this
right.
is unincorporated. We could incorporate it and make it part of Holland proper, but it would take 20 years.
Yeah, and then we'd have to
let's
pay
not do
for it, then we'd have to
Eh.
give people voting rights, and it's a mess. So let's not do
There's
it.
malaria there.
But
we don't want that.
we got some migration boost there,
Yeah.
right? So let's
We
have a
did.
look at migration.
Yes.
Population.
Let's take a look at migration. So our attraction, actually, we can look at the map mode here.
Cultures and
Migration
religions,
attraction. Yeah,
profession and
it's quite good.
clout.
It's not quite as good as Accra.
There is literally
Doing even better.
a
Yeah,
chart
I
for
believe,
clout.
So basically, we don't get as much colonial migration, and that's because we have the colonial exploitation.
You
law,
guys see the
if I
clout
recall
chart?
correctly.
Yeah.
So we're going to be more reliant on events
Wow.
and modifiers and decrease if we want to populate our colonies.
Yeah.
But we do get more production in our colonies.
Yeah.
So the
Bruh.
Netherlands is more focused on extracting resources from their colonies than they're focused on sending people in clogs
Yeah.
to colonize.
Build windmills in Ghana.
Yeah, to build windmills in Dutch Ghana.
Yep.
Yeah, we
so-
should probably get into the migration mechanics eventually as well. But yeah, we need to.
Yeah, there's a lot to get into, and we should also just keep playing.
So these
Yeah.
are the offensive subsistence farms in
Yes.
Dutch Ghana.
Man,
that
there's
we're
a
talking
lot.
about.
That's cool.
So this is for every bit of arable land that we're not currently using.
Mhm.
It means that people can go there and work as peasants.
Is there anything nice we
Oh.
could build here then? If we want to put those subsistence farms to better use.
Yeah, is there? I mean, we could build plantations.
I
Millet
would say
farm,
more-
sugar plantation,
more
tobacco,
relevant, actually,
dye,
we could build
cotton.
a logging camp, and we can get some more wood. Because
Oh.
Yeah.
the Netherlands is not great for wood.
Well, wasn't sugar a shortage?
You're actually
well.
right about that. We don't have a lot of sugar, so let's build a sugar plantation here while we're at
Yeah.
it. And this is a lot of honestly how the game plays. It's sort of figuring out which states you have, what you need, making a lot of decisions, tweaking your production methods, which I'm going to get into at some point, and just messing around with your economy.
Yeah, I don't
trying
think this
to
should
make it
just
spin
be a
and do
war
what you
game. The
want.
1800s was
And
much
then,
more than
of
just
course,
that.
diplomacy, war, politics, all of those
War is a
things
part
kind
of it, but it shouldn't
spin
just be
around the economy, so to
you know,
speak.
the main
So there's a
focus.
question I would actually like to answer, which is, do natives need to westernize before they can do anything of importance?
Because
like
this all
taking
builds up to the war, and that's going to be really
I know,
interesting.
I think we're not talking about natives here, because decentralized powers, in this case, cannot become centralized powers. They're just decentralized for this. We might want to do something with this in the future,
Oh,
but there's
DLC.
a lot of unrecognized powers, which is, for instance, China. And unrecognized basically is a status a country has, where what it means is more or less that the European great powers are pretty racist against them, and so they're not treated as an equal, and it's a purely diplomatic penalty. They get treated less seriously, it's cheaper in infamy to conquer. Pause the game.
There's
He
an event,
wanted
so
to do
I'm-
the event.
Oh, I
so,
see,
yeah.
so of course. You're
yeah,
right.
I'm actually right this time.
You are right this time.
Yes, this is
cheaper to conquer from
1836.
them,
The game starts
they
in
don't get as much
1836.
Influence, they have a harder time
Every time.
doing diplomacy,
Unless there's some
and
special
they get
condition
lower
to start
tax
later.
spread and so on. But it's not like, oh, they can't build factories or they can't recruit armies. You can theoretically be the world's most advanced country and also an unrecognized power. It's just that even though you're the world's most advanced country, because you haven't achieved recognition yet, which is something you can achieve, Great Britain and Austria and France are still sneering at you.
Yeah, I mean, we can see here that just based on prestige alone, Great Cheng has almost as much as France, but they're still number 12 in the world just because they
Pre-Civil War in the United
cannot
States, yeah.
achieve a greater.
Yeah, they can
greater
achieve a
power
higher
status.
rank than unrecognized major power because they're just not allowed to.
But in
take it
terms of
seriously.
actual raw, like real power, they're absolutely have a lot of abilities there.
All
It's
right,
just
so we had an event, you said.
diplomatically. Yes, language in the classroom. So Ashkenazi students sometimes use their native language in Dutch schools. And some have called for teachers to penalize the use of these languages, forcing children to speak the official language. Should school teach them to speak the proper language, or is that language part of their heritage? So this is a
Are we
decision.
gonna inflict the Dutch language on the poor Jews?
Yes. And the question here, this is going to affect our entire country for 5 years. We are going to get some radical Ashkenazi pops if we choose that, and we will get increased assimilation.
But also more radicals from discrimination.
Yeah.
I don't think they're not.
Look
that
at all
many
those
of them, truth be
bonuses and
told,
stuff.
so it's
Damn. Or
I would say the
debuffs.
smart thing to
Both
do
good and bad.
is to care more about the interest group
I love how they lay it out.
effects here.
That's good.
Because here, so the petit
Can you
bourgeoisie
import
and
your
the
games from
evangelical
EU and
church,
such?
remember, they
That's a
are the
good
ones that
question.
make up our government.
Some people were saying
I
you
don't
could
think we can
export
answer
this game to
unless
like
we
Hearts
think
of Iron.
about what do we actually want to accomplish? Because right now we're kind of just running the starting government of the petite bourgeoisie and the evangelical church. So
You
know,
can?
just
Oh my
making
god.
them happy if we're just gonna stick with that one makes sense. But
It's
I'm sure
ridiculous.
there's something we could be improving here.
Mm.
So what do you think? Should we be looking at changing a law?
Oh, a
I
converter
know,
will
for
come out?
instance,
Oh my
Do we
god.
still have the mercantilist?
That's
trade
crazy.
law?
We
I
do.
believe so.
That's crazy.
So this is a thing that we have, that we have kind of an old export-focused policy. And meanwhile, we've been talking about, oh yeah, we're gonna need to import a lot of iron in order to maintain our industrialization. And I think mercantilism and trying to industrialize the Netherlands is not gonna play super nicely together.
No, you're right.
So yeah, this event is actually gonna be relevant based on which law I want to pass.
Yeah. But which do we want to go for here? I mean, do we want to go free trade already? We probably do.
Yeah.
Because the industrialists.
So the
are
problem
powerful.
here is that I like protectionism. Free trade is nice as well.
Yeah.
Protectionism is basically a law that gives you a lot of control, a lot of tariffs and so on. Free trade is very lack of control. You can't do tariffs. You can't really block people from trading with you.
Yeah.
But all trade routes are very efficient. So, and the industrialists love free trade, apparently. So I would actually say that we want to do here is switch to free trade.
Yes. Which means
doesn't...
I may as well.
Yeah, let's just go ahead and be nice to the Jews.
Yes.
And then we're going to have to reform our government, I think. Because,
We
you know,
do.
this coming out of this.
Let's see. Now, we have not had an election recently, which means that any changes we make where we kick these guys out is going to make them real angry. Our next election is on 1839.
Yeah, these are my
then,
friends.
Yeah,
That's a long
We're
time.
hanging
We're
out.
going to have to keep going.
Yep.
We're going to get to like
Y-
one
We're
hanging
year in
out. They're
this
showing
stream if
me,
we don't, continue.
Yeah,
Victoria
alright.
3 for the first
Yeah.
time.
Right, but no, let's not cause a massive upset. We can reform the government right now, but it's kind of a terrible idea.
Yeah.
So we're going to wait until the next election, and after the next election, we're definitely going to be reform our government.
Yes. In the meantime, how much
think
damage has this
Yeah, as soon as
caused?
Bradford left, I
so
invited
the
the,
evangelical
my real
churches
friends.
pulled
It's
away
not
their
it's not a
their
huge deal.
support. We're still okay capacity-wise.
Almost 1 year in.
The intelligentsia
Yep.
is giving us some bonuses now, so we get back to cheaper society tax
Constitutional monarchy.
costs, for that. I'm gonna say no
No.
to Magwinda now.
Wow.
Yes. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. I think our tooling workshops are done, and I think they're probably...
Yeah, good tariff money that they're making
in
from
pain
those trades now.
Are
That's good.
done. They're not doing fantastic.
Very
here
nice.
because there is no demand for tools. But there is demand for wood, so we
Yeah.
can see that they're actually running a deficit.
I think it makes the most sense here to switch to pig iron tools.
Pig
and
iron
then
tools, interesting.
Flip, yes.
Oh, we're getting
Actually,
ready to
and
go to war
flip
if we're
on
building tools.
for some of our construction
Tools
industries.
build
See if our
houses,
trade
houses
routes
will build
can
population.
manage the stress.
Populations are hungry. They must be fed.
So we
I
It
think the main use for
begins.
tools right now is actually construction, and we want to industrialize.
we can do that. Do we want to do this as well?
Yeah,
I think
this is
so.
good because it's more tools for more furniture.
Yeah.
So what we're doing now is that we're messing around with construction methods.
Oh,
Construction
now
methods-
it's happening. It's
Uh,
happening,
yes,
boys.
Production methods. I have
Finally making
construction on my mind.
tools.
Production methods are essentially how you determine what the building produces, which advanced methods it uses, and so on. You can have a lot of
The
different
factory must
production
grow.
methods, like we were looking earlier at wood buildings versus cast iron buildings. Okay, so we're
Whoa.
actually facing kind of a shortage right now.
Yeah. So the tools are great. They're very expensive now. as you
Yeah,
can
but
see.
I think we flipped it on for too many of our construction industries.
Yeah.
frankly.
And we don't have enough iron.
And that
So
there
it's
was a
not
little
keeping
warning
it.
about that in the tooltip. You just kind of went ahead.
Yeah.
Cool.
There-
Yes, the colony must
I'll
grow.
try
Good,
this.
good.
So what we did now was
This is better.
you
This is
just did it for certain provinces here. So it was just Holland, I believe.
Okay, so apparently there is a diplomatic play starting.
Oh.
What?
And Prussia
yes.
wants to trade.
Let's see. Diplomatic play started. Let's look at our notifications.
This music's so nice.
Make dominion against.
Okay, so Great Britain is trying to make a subject out of Futajalon, which is a little, it's a more centralized country in West Africa. And they're probably, if it's just Britain versus Futajalon, then no, this is gonna be kind of a stomp. So the big question is any other great power going to come in and defend them? Not necessarily because they so fond of Futajalon, but because they're not particularly fond of Britain.
And the reason why we even got notified of this is because we have a.
Have I played Factorio? I sure have.
Right.
Yeah.
Which actually is interesting because what
And we could
happens
get
when
involved.
trains are coming soon?
Yes, so we could get involved in this, but I would say let's hold off and see if Britain actually offers us something.
I wonder what it's
Because I
like when we
see
can
no
build rail
reason to
networks.
just,
We're currently supporting Britain, though.
No, we're leaning Britain.
Imagine
So
taking
this
over
is
large
just like, you
parts of
begin with a
Africa,
stance
connecting
which
it all
is
via
based on
trains.
diplomacy. And we have a diplomatic play. Let's hop back. We can see that we have us, according to the game, leaning Great Britain because of our good relations with them. We have
I want to see trains, bro.
France and Portugal and some other countries either leading Futajalon or on the fence. Probably not everyone here is going to get involved. And if we look at sway countries, we can actually move around our own stance. So the way this works is that in a diplomatic play, Britain is trying to get something from Futajalon. Futajalon is probably gonna try to get something back from Britain, maybe war operations or something, and then other countries can weigh in. Right now, because we're in the opening moves of the diplomatic play, they apparently want a treaty port for some reason. Because we're in the opening moves, we can't really take sides yet. It's gonna have to wait a little bit, but we can set our stance indicating that we will be amenable to Britain or that we will be amenable to Futajalon. So let's actually stay amenable to Britain and see if they offer us something really nice. And let's continue.
What will be interesting here is to see if France manages to get swayed to oppose Britain, because that could get ugly real fast.
Yes, it could.
So what we have here in the diplomatic play, I think you should might want to explain the phases here. Little what's going on, what's going to happen here now.
Yeah, so in the opening moves, it's just the two main sides, Britain and their target, setting their main war goal. And everyone else gets a chance to sort of set their initial stance. And then we're going to move into diplomatic maneuvers. So this is when the two leaders can start offering. Like they can go, hey, if you back me, I'll give you this, or I might give you an obligation. I might see if you can promise you some land if they think you can take it, and so on. And other countries
I would like a
decide
cookie
to get involved or declare neutrality.
To not attack.
So right now we have
my price is one cookie.
Nobody that's really getting involved. They probably aren't that interested, but it might happen. We'll see. Everyone's kind of full on money and whatnot, and France and Britain aren't super good friends. So
we can see here also that Britain only mobilized 10 battalions
so far, at
they're,
least.
They're
but
so
they're
far
generally not
matching
going to mobilize their entire army. If all they have to do is beat up Futajalon, they'll mobilize as much as they think they need.
What is my go-to cookie? Probably
presumably their
clear
army
all
might be a
cookies
little
from my
more
browser.
advanced than,
Yes,
than
it's
theirs.
definitely more advanced.
But that'll be interesting to see. But they're not actually offering us anything, so
No,
we have
I mean,
no reason to get involved.
Britain
here.
has no reason to offer us anything unless someone were to get involved on the enemy side, because they pretty much think that, oh yes, they're just gonna win this.
That's
And
what
so
might be.
far,
Dude, there's
none of
so
the great
much to
powers
do in
seem
this game.
particularly interested in just giving a damn about.
Like, there's
particular
multiple
conflict,
battles
which I
in
would
this
say
game.
is kind of fair.
Let's keep.
There's
it
war. There's battles in war,
can
battles in
we-
trading.
yes.
Yes,
Send
we can have a
diplomatic
trade agreement
battles.
with Sweden.
Sweden now.
How are we doing on iron now?
Oh, thank you, chat, for all the cookies. Aw,
iron.
thank you.
Yeah, so
Good.
excellent. So our trade routes. Oh, What just?
Risk-
Oh, okay. We
risk
just
on
stopped we
steroids?
just,
Oh, yeah.
stopped constructing things. We ran out of things to build.
That's an
So
understatement.
that's why our
All right.
sell orders and buy orders suddenly dropped. But
Yeah.
we were actually doing pretty nice on iron because our trade route with Sweden was sort of automatically adjusting to what we need.
And the trade routes, or rather, here I want to go in here and take a look at our tooling
Just want to
workshops.
point out that it went into the final phase here, I believe.
Yep.
The
So now-
automatic player.
So now we're gonna have to see. And in the final phase, countdown to war, it just means that everyone's involved.
Oh,
And in this case,
oh,
it's
countdown to
nobody, because
war.
Nobody cares.
Uh-oh.
Nobody cares to stop Britain.
Hanover, of course.
Well,
is
that's
on.
because they're
Yeah.
subject, or
Yeah.
was their subject. They
Uh-oh.
broke away. And it's just a matter of are they gonna back down or not. I think
Warfare
in this
coming.
case, they're not backing down because Britain hasn't mobilized a whole lot. and
There's gonna be a
sometimes
fight.
The AI does will just go, hey, I think I can win this anyway. But I suspect that this is gonna go Britain's way.
Yeah.
Let's have a
this
peek.
seems
Let's have a
likely.
peek. Let's look at the map instead of staring at ourselves at this little war.
Sure.
So there's now a front between the British colony of Sierra Leone
Oh.
and there's a battle.
Oh, that's cool. It shows the borders as like being on
And
fire.
Headley Reed is advancing.
Kinda hard to see,
with
though.
his 4,000 men.
Ooh, look at
Oh.
this.
Oh, boy.
Just in time for the war, we got
yes,
some pizza.
we'll be getting
Oh, hell
pizza,
yeah,
which means
brother.
we'll be
Yeah, pass some of that over here.
We'll be
Taking
eating
the-
a
Give me,
little
give me
bit.
some of that.
So yeah, this is. They
Aw,
only
they're
have
getting
4
pizza? What the
battalions
hell?
versus 8, but yeah, for sure they have much better stats here, much better offense and defense.
Yeah,
Oh, there we go.
and so-
this battle I think
The
is
battle
definitely going
begins.
Britain's way, even though they're outnumbered
Yeah.
2-1.
Yep. Good battle conditions for them as
Yep.
well. So yeah, they captured a province here, and they're going to keep advancing. And they don't have enough, or they don't have a lot to advance into. To be honest,
No,
here
I'm fairly certain
that war will be over soon.
that this is going to be over pretty soon, and with not a lot of expenditure for Britain because nobody else got involved. They were able to keep their mobilization to a limited degree, and yeah, they're just kind of trouncing over for that. So the only thing they're really gonna lose out of this is that they're gonna get a bunch of infamy. They're gonna have some people die, some costs, maybe irritate some of the other great powers because they wanted that colony for themselves.
Yep.
And yeah, you know what? I think we should be building stuff because
Oh,
we're
yeah.
having our
We forgot.
construction just completely idling.
We forgot.
Oh, boy.
So did we actually build our fisheries?
Yes, but our tooling workshops
Build
are
fisheries.
kind of
Tooling
in the
workshops.
red because we're not building anything. So
Well, tooling workshops are doing okay now. I think
it's
they adjusted
iron.
their wages a little bit.
iron are going. Our iron is very expensive.
Iron is quite expensive.
All
and
right, but it's-
yeah,
it's
we can,
adjusting
but we can turn on a bit more tools.
Oh, we're starting production.
Let's try to go here.
Soon.
We'll gradually increase the bits. How is our research going? Okay, we're more than
We're going to build an
halfway.
aircraft
yeah,
carrier.
we are gonna need more universities if we want this to go faster.
Yeah.
But let's do one thing at a time.
We're
You
starting to
could also
pop
just saw
off.
there that the agriculture, I think that was passive growth, right?
Mhm.
Because it was advancing. So as we talked about before, that you would get. So yeah, do you want to take a pizza? Like we have ham pizza, we have pepperoni pizza. It seems like.
All right.
I don't know if either of you are vegetarians.
These guys
I
are
am.
taking a...
You're vegetarian. That was kind of
so we
shitty
only
for
have
you.
ham and pepperoni?
There's only meat pizzas here.
Yes,
no.
that's so control room. Is there a slight mistake here? But let's look into that. in
One-
a
Ooh,
little
okay.
bit.
One is vegetarian.
Vegetarian.
Oh, that is yes.
That looks
Perfect.
like
they have an
this-
excellent vegetarian pepperoni pizza.
That looks like it's vegetarian pepperoni
Perfect.
because that looks strange. Oh,
Yes, I was discriminated against interest group
yeah.
there,
Okay.
but
Like
it's
we
all
don't
good.
know for sure that's a vegetarian one though. I just guess. Like you're more expert than me. Which one looks more vegetarian to you? They look the same to me.
I'm not sure.
Man, now I'm mad. These guys get pizza.
How are you to know?
Ah,
Okay. Oh wait. Okay.
okay, one on the pepperoni, not a non-meat. This is very confusing.
Yeah, she doesn't know. It's like one of them is non-meat. Like that's a ham one though, so that's for sure.
Yes.
I don't know. I can taste one
Yes,
to see
go
if
ahead and
I
taste
can make it, if I
See
can
if you can
determine
make
which
it.
one is.
This is a
vegetarian, which
debacle.
one's not.
Oh boy.
An absolute fiasco.
You know what? I am gonna see what our lower strata is spending money on.
I also want to do a shout out.
Bro,
to
can
the chat
Italy
because
export
there was
pizza?
A Worst Wedding Wednesday fan in the chat earlier.
Can you like unite Italy?
We upgraded to pizza, but it's kind of the same stream.
Okay. Like, personally, I think we should look into expanding our textile mills because they're making mad bank. And our furniture manufacturers right now.
Yeah, they are making a lot of money.
Expand both of those.
And furniture, yeah. You know what? I'm gonna
Dutch furniture? Oh, the furniture must
let's
grow.
Go with both. And yeah, as you said, right, this is important to pay attention to. The textile mills here have a bit
Yeah,
of a
pizza.
throughput bonus because of economy of scale. So the higher
they're having a
we
party,
build,
man.
those buildings,
Jealous.
the more efficient they are going to get. But yeah, our lower strata is spending a lot of money right now on furniture and clothes. Clothes is fairly cheap already. Furniture is not, and services very expensive.
All right, Mr. Food Taster.
Yeah, I seriously, I can't make up any difference. Try just a pepperoni.
Oh, this is ridiculous.
Maybe Mickey's better at
Build an aircraft carrier.
Tell you what, I'll just try one of them, and I think I can probably recognize it. So,
okay.
Let's see. Yeah.
They look identical.
They look completely identical. So I'm also wondering if they just gave.
Yeah, it's now a pizza stream. Bro, I want to be able to. Wait, they're in Fries Land.
This is exciting.
Get some French fries going.
I genuinely can't tell.
One's in the chat if you're now
Actually,
hungry.
Yeah, I think this is meat.
Not only for pizza, but for war.
Try that one,
Mm-hmm.
One's in the chat if you'd like pizza, and also some warfare.
They're identical, right?
Well.
This is gonna be the big moment of this stream. Is instead of playing the game, we're just going, oh boy. We're just going, oh no, pizza. Which pizza is it? No, I genuinely have no idea. None whatsoever.
Could always remove the thing on top and if you want to be sure. But maybe you don't want it if it touched either, I don't know.
Okay.
But I'm eating pizza.
Yeah.
Great, now we're just going to hear the munching the
I'm
whole
wondering
time.
if we can get some... I'll just... sort it.
Shipyards, looks like you can build... Was that a barracks there?
You know, liquor. Let's turn on liquor.
More booze. Yeah, now we got sugar, right? How is
Oh,
sugar
right,
production
now that they're
going?
importing more
It's actually
sugar,
not
yeah.
Too bad. It's pretty cheap with sugar now.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good.
Alright, anyway, let's get back to the game. Enough about pizza, more about the game.
Yes.
I've been
cool.
playing the game the whole time. I don't know.
More building.
No, things are
more
going
trains,
pretty well.
more war.
The tooling workshops are finally making a little bit of money.
Yes.
And this is good too, actually. So they're stocking up some cash reserves. A lot of the money that they're making are going to go to the capitalists directly, but they're also depositing some of the cash reserve, and that is good both for sort of inertia in case things start going badly for the tooling workshops, but also this cash reserve is money that we can access through our debt. So right now we have actually run out of gold reserves, and we're now starting to access our national credit. And that national credit is made up of the combined cash reserves of buildings. So the better the buildings go, the more money we can borrow. And that is definitely
Wow,
something
yeah,
we
look at the
do
tool
now.
production. Holy crap.
We have to start paying
So
interest.
on this
Please
topic,
Tools
on
can
this
be
topic,
rather
like,
easily
so
converted
just
to
clarify as well, we don't have the same system
weapons.
as in Vicky 2 where you just got the capitalist just
those
building
factories that make
factories on
tools
their
can
own.
be converted to make guns.
You
pretty
build things,
easily.
but you can use the investment pool, which is sort of the investment of right money.
But-
Alright, it seems Britain has won,
Britain has won.
and they have subjugated the footage alone.
There's also a lot of requests in the chat about the cultural map node.
Okay, yeah, I believe that was covered pretty extensively in the last dev diary, how it works, and I definitely think this is a culture map mode is something we could improve. in the ways we're showing minorities and so on. I also don't know how much we can do for release and how the complex that is. So I'm gonna sort of, yes, this is the culture map mode. It's showing the majority culture with the homeland.
Yep.
It's not showing.
No, actually, it is. I stand corrected on that.
Oh, it is just majority culture.
It is just
Okay.
or plurality.
Yeah,
It's
that's what I thought.
Whatever culture has the most, and it is by state, right?
Yeah.
So if it looks like it's not super duper granular, it's because it's per state.
But it's definitely hiding a lot of things. It's not showing, like, there's a lot of minority cultures that just aren't being shown.
Yeah, so like we can see here, like you can see the tooltip here, that there's, you know, all these people are represented, but it's only the largest one that is going to be shown on the map.
And I think it would be nice to improve that, but it's also not exactly trivial because of the way our map modes work. So we'll have to be looking into that.
Yep. Might want to unpause.
Yes. Mikael.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, we have 2 events going. That's
taking
why
away your.
That's why
I'm gonna take away your keyboard.
War profiteering, pacifists led by Vincent van Riebeck, who is actually the leader of the industrialists, right? Yes. Protesting against the weapons manufacturing.
Okay.
What?
Okay,
He doesn't want us making guns, brother?
Hell
I
no.
think that we shall not be shamed for a good craftsmanship, but let's have a look at the options.
Hold
Wow,
on.
the industrialists have a pacifist. That's interesting.
Yeah. Hey, it can happen.
it can happen.
Yeah. So we either get to choose between no small arms output, just a straight up ban, in one state only, Holland, but that's where our arms industries are, or a slight reduction, or
can't do
a
that.
full-on interest group.
I
just
would
don't
rather
like us.
not tank a weapons production, quite frankly.
Yeah.
Let's just.
But are we prepared to take that hit for
I mean,
the
how did?
industrialists?
Okay, they're actually gonna go into unhappy if we
We
do that.
might need to pause now, actually, if we don't.
Yeah,
want
we're gonna need to
timeouts.
make a decision on this. So we're pausing
Pause.
legitimately for once.
Okay, fine. So
Okay.
You think so?
Let's see.
Gotta make them guns, brother.
What do we reduce it as?
Gotta go to
a
war.
50% small arms output. Ugh.
That's tough for 5 years too.
No. We shall not be shamed for a good craftsmanship.
That's right. There we go.
A pizza stool.
Yeah. Now they are mad. They are very mad.
Well, they're neutral and they're getting angry. They're getting angrier.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
deal with it.
We'll fix it.
You can be
we'll
negative
pass
two,
them
but
off.
still be neutral for the
They'll be happy.
relationship with
There's
industrialists.
another thing happening now.
You need to
Okay,
keep the
armed
industrialists
forces
happy. That's how you're going to make your weapons.
Government
We're
in-
literally just.
clearly favoring the interests of the industrialists. What do you want from us? This needs to be addressed, or they need to accept that we cannot always please everyone. I don't really care so much. about
Yeah,
the
I don't think
political
we can
strength of
anger the
armed
industrialists
forces.
even more.
No.
So, oh my god, yes. Yes.
We did it. We did it.
You know what? I feel like I want to use some of those guns now.
Yeah.
I'm irritated. So,
Who are you gonna use them on?
We are running. Okay, so we just unlocked central banking, and
So
that
now I guess
is
we're making
because
weapons?
it spread to us, so that's nice. So we can now bankroll countries if we want, or we
Mhm.
can take on debt, which is, you know, we can when a country is
More
almost
weapons.
bankrupt, we can buy their debt for an obligation.
and something that's not actually in the current build that we're playing, but that is a thing, is that bankrolling countries can also give you obligations. So you can sort of
Did you
throw-
implement that?
Yeah.
Nice.
You can throw money at countries in the hopes of getting obligations to get them to do things for you.
Yep.
Oh.
And in the meantime, it just gives us some improved minting. So essentially, it means we can print more money before it starts to affect us badly. And
Good.
that's nice, and that's just spread to us. That's just something we
Weaponize the windmills. Yes. Make it into artillery.
Yes, but I think that, like, we're importing a lot of iron, and it's been good so far, but I think we need more sources of iron. How's our to begin with? Yeah, our research is progressing. We don't need to look at that again. And we're actually losing money right now.
We
That's
are.
another slight concern.
We're losing money, but it's
No.
temporary.
Oh yes, we are actually. Yeah,
Right.
we're just in debt a bit.
So we are in debt a little bit, but we're paying our interest, and of course the interest is going to the people who
Yeah.
own the building. So it's actually boosting our economy
But I think
in a way.
we might need to take a little.
You gotta have
break
a big
from
brain.
constructing things after this.
Yes.
We could also, I think, be using decrees to make ourselves a little more efficient.
Oh,
Because
yeah,
that's
we
something
could-
we have.
Man, this
haven't
looks so
done that
fun.
at all.
No.
Just the building and the
so
Collect a little
trading.
consumption tax, perhaps.
Very fun.
That is better. Let's do that. Let's do that. We can add a consumption tax at the expense of authority.
Look at all those
and
items. Tea,
something
luxury
here.
furniture, fabric,
Clothes
paper,
and furniture.
groceries,
Clothes is
Yeah.
good.
tobacco.
And so
Oh,
authority,
yeah.
what it is like a... Yeah, you can add a consumption tax on clothes, and I'll explain authority. What authority is like a ruler's personal power to do little pet projects, like
Oh.
I want to tax this good, or I want to do this thing in the state. So now we tax the good to get some more money, but I would also like a decree. So this is the do thing in a state. Like
Yep.
you have these decrees, and they give various advantages in a state, like boosting migration attraction because you want more people there, adding welfare payments with emergency relief if you want to make people happier, violently suppressing dissent to reduce the effects of turmoil and so on. And some of the more generally useful ones, I would say, is encourage manufacturing industry, encourage agriculture industry, and encourage resource industry. So we've been building a lot of manufacturing in Holland, right?
We have, and also we are running pretty low on services, which is produced by urban centers, and manufacturing industry decree will boost that as well.
We could probably get more services through a production method as well, but let's start with the manufacturing
Oh,
industry
yeah.
and encourage it in Holland.
Build them factories, baby.
And that's just gonna run, and will...
I think I wonder if we're using the glass-based market.
Are you
like
breathing?
which production method we're using?
$10
on the urban centers.
taxes.
Let's have a peek.
Let's have a peek at that. So our
Yep.
urban centers are currently using just
Market
market
stalls.
stalls.
Yeah. We
So
don't have enough glass to
Yep,
do
they're
this,
building up for
but
war
we could
now.
have enough glass.
Obviously, with industrialization becomes
Made it clear. So what you have here
more
is,
resources.
If you change it here, you're going to change it for everyone.
Yeah.
Or you can go down
And change it
in
in just one individual place,
for
or you can
each.
click on the state and just
Yeah.
change it in one individual place.
Yeah.
There's a lot of different methods.
Now with urban centers, we don't have the option of just building more of them. They appear as we build other industries, right? So this is reflecting the sort of centralization, urbanization of the different states,
Good.
which is why they're so unevenly distributed, because Holland has got the vast
Yes.
majority of them.
Do we actually have any glass manufacturing? I don't think so.
And I don't believe so.
But let's have a peek.
So Glassworks, we have one. in
All right, yeah,
Friesland.
we have some in Friesland.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead.
it's doing
I know I was
well.
saying we're going to take a break from building, but I think this is actually worth going into depth for.
This is a trap. This is a trap. Constantly, right? Like,
Yes.
oh, but we can just build one more thing, and it's gonna be fine.
Oh. This
is
We're
very
gonna make our
much
money back.
One more turn.
Yep. So we're going to have to keep an eye on that. And once the glass builds, we should
One more
activate
turn.
the market methods, like the urban center methods, so that they're profitable.
Yes.
But
I'm
yeah.
going to actually move one of the, not all the way up. I'm gonna finish the textile mill 1st, and then we'll do the glass.
Heavy breathing
Sounds
intensifies.
good.
We have not looked at the current situation at all, actually.
No, and this
We
should be
could do that.
familiar to anyone who has played.
So their money went from
Civ.
negative 16,000 to negative 10,000. So they are making money
we can
now.
declare more interests. I'm gonna ignore these because they're actually outdated now, I think. But the declaring more interests. So we actually have more regions we can declare interest in. We currently can declare 5, and this is in part because of our power rank and also because of our naval bases.
But do we have a good
Yeah,
idea?
they're
of
playing
where
as the
we want to
Dutch,
declare
yep.
an interest?
Where do we want to declare an
Because
interest?
as far as
They're
I
playing
know,
in
we
as
don't
the
really
Dutch.
have any
It's
ambitions outside of the
1838.
areas we already
They
have
started in
interest right now.
1836.
Not really, unless there's like some place that we would want to just be able to weigh in, so that we could maybe earn an obligation from someone. But
Let's put it in South Germany, just to keep an eye on what's going on there,
yeah,
and then we can always move it later if we want that to be somewhere else. So
another reason is if we wanted to make any diplomatic pacts
Yes.
with people there, or if we wanted to trade with them. Now we can't do that in South Germany because it's a landlocked region, right?
Mhm.
But yeah, that's.
But for
another
example, if we want to trade with Austria, we either need to have an interest somewhere in their market, or they need to have an interest somewhere in our market. If we don't have any diplomatic presence whatsoever in each other's markets, you can't trade. If you don't have any diplomatic presence in each other's countries, you can't do diplomacy and so on. You can't just be like, I
Yes,
am
the
landlord
windmills
Bhutan,
must
and I'm gonna
expand.
send embassies to the US and have a worldwide presence. You actually need to support that worldwide presence. And the amount of interest you can support is based on your power rank and on your navy.
Yeah.
So if you want to be in a lot of places at once, you need a lot of boats.
We have nothing in the Caribbean, right? Like we're not really.
We have a little island in the Caribbean.
Okay, so
We have Curacao.
So do we have interest in the Caribbean? Then?
Yes, because we own land there.
Yeah.
And it's a completed colony. So
Oh.
we have an interest in the Caribbean. We'll just have to see if something happens there.
One thing that we got here is isolated state regions. So this colony that we founded is isolated. This is not particularly great, and it's probably causing people to be doing not so well.
I mean, it's fine because it's only
okay.
subsistence farms there.
The-
But it wouldn't be fine if we want to do something besides subsistence farm. Like, isolated means that it can't access the other parts of our market at all. It can only buy and sell things locally. And essentially, as long as you only have subsistence farms, this is usually fine.
Then that's okay.
Because subsistence farms are they basically are a closed little economy of their own.
Yeah.
But because we might want to have an iron mine here or something, let's see about connecting this to the market.
Yes. So to do that, we need to build a port, because that is the only way to connect this up. So
Look at all the things you can make,
I'm
man.
gonna go ahead and do that.
I
Of
think we
course
should
it's
Just for
also
producing of
actually
raw
right
materials is
away,
pretty diverse.
Let's just leave the port. I don't think it's that important. To
Glassworks, furniture
Yeah.
manufacturing,
What we should do is switch the port to an anchorage right away, because
dye.
we don't want the entire population here working the
Barracks?
Port. That's very wasteful.
Uh-oh.
that we can do.
I don't like that word.
So an
Barracks.
anchorage will give you just a tiny amount of convoys and will just connect it to your market. Whereas a cargo port, you can see, will give you 20 times the amount, but will require clippers. And I don't really want to spare clippers for that now. So let's go with an anchorage. And eventually that will connect up. But there's another thing that's a problem here, which is low market access. Oh, that's the same. That's the same.
It's kind of a
state.
duplicate thing. We should fix that.
But yeah, we should keep an eye on that, because if one of our states, for example, Holland here, starts running low on infrastructure,
I feel like at this
then,
moment, war could
that's
break out
that's
at
gonna
any
really
second
affect
from
the
anybody.
economy of
So
Holland.
Even
we're
though it
coming
doesn't
up on
seem like
the
there's much going
election
on.
next year, and you know what a good election needs?
Oh, that's because I've been unpaused.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. Good job. I think a good election needs a good war.
Oh yeah,
I knew
that's
it.
always
Because
helpful.
we're still looking to expand our source of iron. We have the colony going, we have the trade routes going.
Time for
we have
war.
an agreement with Sweden, we have all of these things, but, all forms of trading for iron is ultimately going to be dependent on other countries. I don't want to be too dependent on other countries. Let's get Brunei.
Let's get Brunei.
Is it
my God.
war?
Well, it's time for diplomatic play. Because if we're lucky, we're just going to get it without war.
So yes, now we got
Time for
defensive
war.
agriculture in the meantime as well. This is gonna
We
be
can
nice
use
for our
fertilizer and so
farms.
on to make our agriculture better, but it's not super relevant for us right now.
Yeah. Do we want to start building a chemical plant just because?
I think we're building a lot of stuff right now, and we're still going
Chemical
into depth,
plant
and
for
we need to finance
explosives,
an
yeah.
invasion of
we need
Brunei.
to finance an invasion of Brunei. All right, fair enough. So we're gonna just conquer it, yeah?
Well, first, before we hop into the war, let's look at the situation again, because last time they had no friends. This might
Right.
not be the same, and we also should take a peek at who has an interest in the region. Okay, so they actually have an alliance. They have an alliance with Sintang. I don't think that will be too much trouble.
Sintang has
Two-
two
yeah, two
battalions.
battalions.
I
That
think we'll
should
be
be
all
perfectly
right.
fine.
I have a question about it says owes obligations from, and to me it's a bit ambiguous. It's not clear if they owe, who's owing the obligation here.
Who's the ower and who's
I
the
think-
owed?
Yeah.
I think that should say oath obligations in this case, so it's probably someone messed up with a little string here. Cool. Right, let's have a look then at who actually has an interest in Indonesia, which is the relevant region.
They're getting ready to invade Brunei
Yes,
for the iron.
Because, yeah, that could get
Because, you know, it's not just about who they're allied to. It's not just about who their friends are, but it's also about who might get involved.
Yeah. So Portugal.
Yeah, there's a lot of local powers here. There is Great
China.
Britain. There is Great Qing, which I don't think they'll get involved.
Yeah.
So there's a fair amount of countries, but most of them are just like little powers. Many of them are subjects. I'm not super worried about this, honestly.
Yes. Okay. So Spain.
Spain.
Portugal.
Okay, so there's
Yeah.
actually more powers than I thought, but I'm still not super worried because I am full of unwarranted confidence.
And I want to point out to chat there as well, when you have questions, it's better if you ask questions relevant to what's happening on the stream. Like, for
Yes.
example, it's very, very hard right now to go check Mormons in the US while we're doing this.
Cool.
No, it is not.
So, of course,
Levi,
we
thanks for
already
the
saw
5, dude.
diplomatic place earlier. If
Appreciate
we
the 5
want
super chat,
to
brother. Yeah.
Start a diplomatic. If we want to actually start, you know, take something, you don't declare war. You start a diplomatic play, because if you play your cards right, you can get it without actually fighting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You can ask questions about the pizza, yes.
So we can issue a play to start to take North Borneo here, and of course Brunei is going to be our main target, and Luxembourg.
Time to invade, brother. Yeah. Oh.
Is going to be our automatic backer. Of course, I don't think they're going to be sending a lot of troops.
Some reason,
Thank you, brother.
Dutch
Yeah.
East Indies has preference to support our enemy. I think that's hot code.
That's interesting.
Okay.
Let's just have a quick peek at what's going on.
Oh no.
Invasion?
Oh no,
They're
that's not
rebellious.
hot code. Oh no.
They are view us as a tyrannical oppressor.
That was not there earlier.
That's not good at all.
I think that's
we
unfair.
are their natural enemy. All right, so yeah.
Gotta go to war with
This-
everybody.
This is basically going to be like their in to
they might
break
actually
free.
end up throwing in their lot with Borneo, like Brunei, as an excuse to declare independence.
Yep.
Ha.
Yep.
This is not super great.
No.
Okay, let's call this off for now. I'm sorry, chat. Let's start improving relations with our little subject here.
Yeah.
And let's consider this. I'm not saying we're not gonna declare war, but I at least want to get a good idea of what we're doing first.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's improve relations with them. It's not gonna help super much, but it's at least gonna keep them from declaring independence on us, because you can't attack someone if you have too high relations.
Can we bankroll them?
Not really gonna help in this particular case.
So we can see here, this is the discrepancy here, right? We have cordial relations with them because that hasn't been deteriorating. That doesn't prevent them from being rebellious. But we can, make sure that we keep improving this.
But I have a plan. So let's go back to that conquer state. And this might backfire horribly, but if so, this is just part of the fun.
All right.
Let's do conquer state. And who actually has a preference to support us if we're going for
Nobody.
North Borneo?
Everyone hates us.
Okay.
No,
Wow.
Langfang.
More importantly, what if we were to rein in the autonomy of... what if we were to rein in the autonomy of our subject? Because maybe improving relations isn't the right way to go here. Because here's the thing. You can start a diplomatic play against your own subject. You can try to annex them. You can try to make them into a puppet to take even tighter control over them. And generally, if they're being rebellious, what you actually want is to take more autonomy from them so they're less able to oppose you.
Hell yeah, brother.
But I can't do that here.
Yeah,
No,
times
but
3
you can
backseating,
see,
yep.
You can't do it because...
Yo, Levi, thanks for another
good
5, bro.
relation.
So we can see who would actually help us and who wouldn't.
Yeah.
But what, did I see right when it looked like they had a way bigger army than we do?
Yes, but let's not focus on the problems right now.
Okay.
Okay.
So should I kick out their diplomats?
Let's stop improving relations again, yes. Let's start damaging relations.
So
Damage.
I could either do
Oh,
that, or
yeah.
I could expel diplomats, right?
Yeah, then we
Which
get
is an instant action. It happens immediately, and it will hurt our relations by 30, and then they can't improve relations with us for 5 years. But it will give us infamy.
okay.
Let's
Let's
do it.
expel the diplomats of our own subject. This is taking some very unexpected turns, to put
Yeah.
it like that.
This is
All in the
masterful diplomatic play.
All in the pursuit
This
of
is five-
iron.
This is 5D chess.
Yeah. So, we have now expelled their
5D
diplomats. I'm
chess.
going to start damaging relations with them. They're still on neutral.
Yes,
so
we don't have to damage relations anymore because we're not cordial.
Oh, right.
So
So we can stop doing
yes,
that.
so because like I said, we cannot attack them, and they cannot attack us as long as we have cordial relations. But now we don't have cordial relations anymore. So
Right.
what if we wanted to make them a puppet?
So now we can make them a puppet. And let's pause for a moment and take stock of this. So we're going to be targeting them and all of their subjects.
Yes.
Luxembourg will still support us, and Kutai will support us. Spain, with 85 battalions, are going to likely oppose us. And then...
To be clear though, preference to support our enemy doesn't necessarily mean
No.
likely oppose us. It means there is a risk that they will
Yeah.
oppose us.
Yes. So, of course, what we could do here is we could say we could try to suck up to the East India Company or Great
I
Great
think if we
Britain.
can get Britain and the East India Company in on our side here,
Yeah.
we should be able to do this. We might actually have to offer them some parts of our colony, but it's kind of better than having nothing.
True.
Yeah.
We're also gonna get an absolutely insane amount of infamy.
A lot of infamy.
Oh, this is actually hot code. You should not be getting this much infamy from reining in the autonomy of your subjects. You should
of
be
your
getting
own
basically
subjects.
none.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is not gonna work. Everyone's gonna hate us if we do this.
I mean, it's going to hurt our relations quite a bit.
Yeah, but it's 97 infamy is a crazy amount.
Yeah.
I think we're kind of being blocked by hot code here. So let's maybe go with our original plan and just try and take on Brunei and see if we can keep this from getting too messy.
All right.
I think this is a very good demonstration of just how messy the diplomatic situation gets, because as someone just pointed out at the start of the stream, I was like, no, we shouldn't befriend Britain, and I'm like, oh god damn it, Britain, please help us rein in our rebellious subjects.
Just as a side note, chat is pointing out this is obviously a bug. Like, couldn't we remedy that with the console command?
Why would we do that?
Okay. Why?
You live by the hot code, you die by the hot code.
Okay.
So, we've started the play. We can now add more war goals if we want, but there's nothing else to take.
No,
right?
they have nothing else to take. So we're gonna
all
see
they
what
have.
they... we should probably start mobilizing immediately, frankly.
So also, I don't know if they're joking or not, but just to clarify, if there's new viewers, so the hot code that's being name dropped here means that the game is a development code. It's not.
What?
There might be bugs. It's
There should not be
not
bugs in this game that's not
release-worthy
released at all.
I'm the one who was horrible and paused here because I kind of wanna take a moment to mobilize before we enter into the next phase of the diplomatic play.
So,
Diplomatic play is very phase.
Well, they're getting ready for war.
yes.
They're
So,
almost ready.
We can mobilize.
They're mobilizing the
general
troops.
we have now, but he only has 10 of our 20 battalions.
Yes, I think we should promote him so he can handle more troops.
Yes.
We could also recruit more commanders, but I think in this case we don't have such a large army. So we just wanna get this done, frankly.
Done. And then we will mobilize.
He's
Yes.
a very
It's
going to
comely
cost
man,
us a bit
David
of-
Hendrik Chassé.
Yes, he is. And if you don't mobilize him, he is only going to be able to garrison his own territories, and it's going to take him time to mobilize based on infrastructure. So we're trying to get ahead of the game here.
Yep.
Okay, let's see what they want from us in return.
Nothing yet.
Looks
Nothing
like
yet.
they probably will just go for war operations then.
Yep. Mobilization has begun.
Yeah,
Very
they've
good.
mobilized their 2 great battalions.
And
Yeah, they just want war operations.
which will just.
But now we can actually sway.
Now we will sway. Right.
Okay, so let's see. And here you can see which countries have something we could they would accept as an offer and which don't.
Yeah.
And interestingly, yeah, we actually could get Britain in on our side. We could get
We could try
East
at
India
least.
Company in on our side. So now it's a little bit of a game. Because it's do we want to get ahead of this, and do we just want to bring them in, and risk that we're actually bringing them in for nothing, or do we want to wait and see what our enemy manages to accomplish, in which case they might end up bringing in Britain. I don't think they'll be able to bring in Britain, but I'm not sure.
My thought here is that if we go in with East India Company, then even if we have to owe them an obligation, they're far away. They're unlikely to be demanding anything heavy from us, I think. Whereas offering an obligation to Britain, they could use
That's
that
a lot
for
more
too much,
dangerous.
right?
Yeah, I agree.
And if they're on our side, I think Britain's going to be unlikely to join the other side.
Okay, let's go with that. I think that's a fair offer. So besides war goals and so on, and we don't really have anything to offer on Brunei because we've taken everything.
Yeah.
Wow, we're taking over the whole country.
And let's see. Yes.
So this is a time when they soon start a diplomatic play on Qing, and it's like, hey, you owe us an obligation.
So this is the problem, right? We could have also gone with Qing and said help us.
Well,
but,
Qing doesn't basically have a navy, so they wouldn't have been that useful in this case.
Yeah. True. Even if they did, though, like I probably want to try to avoid getting Qing and
Yo,
Britain
Levi with
involved
another
because
5.
it's
Thanks,
gonna
dude.
be
That's
too
gonna be
big of a conflict.
Appreciate
down
the
here.
support.
Yeah, we don't have a massive war here. Okay, East
They
India
are
Company.
swayed. They are swayed to
Yeah,
our
war is
side,
coming.
and they have
They're
begun
almost ready.
conscription already.
It's a little excessive, but all right.
Had a relevant question for chat only. You know,
Yes.
you promoted the commander to get
Yep.
him more. Like, what is there limitations? What's the limitations on promoting him? Like,
Oh,
what's
yeah.
the cost of promoting him? Like,
Sure. So
why not just promote everyone all the way?
Yeah, so the promotion, first of all, it doesn't make him more powerful. It just means that he can command more troops. And it costs us a little bit more bureaucracy, and it will increase the political strength of his interest group. So in this case, the armed forces. Not all generals will be supported by the armed forces, but it is pretty common. If we want to take care basically to not promote him to a degree where we upset the power balance or we make one group way too powerful.
We upset the power balance in a way that we don't like.
Exactly.
Because you can definitely use this as a political tool.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, you want to make the industrialists stronger. Then recruit and promote industrialist commanders, give them control of more the army, and they will be stronger. And, you know, generally, our armed forces are by far the most common among commanders, but not all of them.
Notably, you cannot demote someone, right? So once you've committed to that rank, you can't demote it. The only thing you can do is retire,
which
and
will really anger the armed forces.
Considering he's 73 years old in the year of 1838, I don't think it's gonna.
He'll live to 103.
Anyway,
let's continue.
So
far, so good.
So far, so good.
So much stats, even on the general himself. A
more
lot of information on the commander and also the troops.
We don't actually have a front against Brunei, which is annoying. So we can't actually.
It's going to be a naval invasion, boys.
There, we will have to wait until the war begins and start a naval invasion.
Yes, unless we want to try and bring in one of our little subjects here, but then we'll have to promise them something because these are very autonomous subjects. They're not. Automatically going to support us.
If we even just bring in one of the other countries on our side, then they will get a front.
Well, the thing is, though, this front is probably going to collapse before our troops can get there. So
maybe.
Yeah.
Canneries.
Yes, canneries. Okay, tech. We're being interrupted.
Yes.
I think we should start researching. Besides, we should activate the canneries, definitely. And we should start researching something for our early access colony.
Our early access colony. Oh, yeah. We're gonna quinine, but I can't. What? Because
you need pharmaceuticals.
Oh.
To the right.
Is
society?
There, right there.
There.
Yes.
Oh, because
right next to egalitarianism.
Right, I didn't see the second line.
Nothing says quality like pharmaceuticals.
That's right. Well, yes, pharmaceuticals, medical degrees.
Yes, so
that
once
all
we
make
get
sense.
pharmaceuticals, we'll be able to get quinine. I have no idea if I'm butchering the pronunciation of that. And that is going to remove a lot of penalties for malaria.
This is cool too, because we're gonna get to have a
Oh, yeah.
better
Oh,
health
what?
system after we.
They're
have
vaccinating the troops
Okay.
before they go into
So
an
are
area
there
with
any penalties
malaria.
for being mobilized?
What?
Is asked
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Check this out.
That's going to
So,
reduce attrition then
the
due to
mobilized
medical
troops,
issues. That's
Let's
amazing.
take a look.
You have to
This is the
vaccinate the troops
barracks
before
that it
going into an
comes
area
from,
with malaria. Wow.
that these guys come from, that I clicked on, and
That's
they
that's
are,
gargantuan brain.
They are using a lot more, right? So goods input.
That's smart.
60% of the battalions that they provide are now mobilized.
The release
under
date is
this guy,
the 25th of
and
October.
Therefore, it's consuming
So about a
much
month
more,
and a couple weeks.
of these goods.
Which both costs more because it's more goods, and costs more because it drives up the prices of our
Soon.
military goods.
Yep.
And if we were to, for instance, activate all our conscripts, we would probably be facing gun
This is
shortages
amazing.
unless we were actually importing guns or expanding our arms industries.
Yep.
So this is
And
a big part. It's like you have a lot of potential power, and you can have a lot of potential military power, but if you can't actually support them, then
Yeah.
Interesting. Britain is trading ammunition to us. That means we could activate skirmish infantry.
Do we have that?
Yes, we unlocked that a little while ago. We have a better method. We just haven't used it because I didn't think we had any ammunition. But
Let's
apparently Britain really wants to be our friend.
Let's use it.
I feel like we should be pivoting to Britain, but
they are actually exporting that to
Okay,
us at
so
a loss.
some
That's
stuff has happened in the play. China has declared neutrality.
Okay.
Uh,
good.
Maguindanao has declared neutrality. And Bhutan has signed with us. We have
Yeah.
Bhutan!
Yes.
Now everything is
Everything
they
is
have-
falling into
They have not a single guy. Awesome. All right. So far, so good. And the diplomatic maneuvers phase looks like it's almost done.
Yeah, it doesn't look like the... I think that our subject is a bit too scared of the East India Company.
Invasion
to
is
actually do
soon.
well.
But here's what I'm wondering, though. Can we get one of these countries that border Brunei on our side? Because that will get us a front, so we can start Lanfang.
Yes, I think the problem with this is that if we do this, Brunei might overrun them before our troops actually get there, because it's not like our general can
Oh.
teleport.
Yeah, no, that's true.
And it's not like Brunei has a navy. So I would actually say,
But
let's have a look at Lanfang's army. Can they defeat
I think it was 0.
they cannot.
Okay, no.
They cannot.
I think in this
Wow.
case it's actually better
Yeah.
not to open up a front, because
Yeah.
that front will
Yep.
probably not
It
last.
says Bhutan border them already.
It's also not as if Brunei is going to be
No.
sending naval invasions
Yeah,
to us.
Bhutan is one of the Spice Islands over by
Okay.
Sulawesi.
Oh yeah, down
They're-
there is Bhutan.
It's more of a, let's say, moral support.
Yeah. yeah. But yeah, we are now in the countdown to war. There's no more pledging on either side. Yeah, good. And we had a lot of maneuvers
take-
left, but we didn't need them because nobody joined on their
Not
side.
strictly
so-
necessary, but let's take the time to promote our admiral as well, so we can handle the entire navy.
Oh yeah, right. Good
Unless we
point.
actually want to recruit, like, what interest group is he? Because let's think. or we
Oh,
just
too
promote-
late. Too
Oh.
late. Intelligentsia.
Well, okay, good.
That's
Let's think. Let's not think about this.
And
No
he's a
think,
monarch.
only do.
Only do.
Do.
There we go. Okay, so now the war is almost upon us.
Thinking always in the way of great action.
Yes.
Question that I see popping up every now and then: can you release countries and play as them?
Yes. you
Oh my
absolutely can.
god.
Release subjects.
You can release subjects and play as
Yeah,
them.
we don't
That's
have a lot
so
of countries
cool.
to release at the
Can't
moment,
really
but
do that
yes,
right
this
now.
is a thing we can do.
Yes.
Okay.
War.
Yes, I'm a little surprised they didn't.
It
back down, but
begins!
They're also less likely to back down if it's an existential war,
Yeah.
where they will cease to exist at the
Yeah.
end of it. So,
Yeah.
I think they would probably have backed down if we were doing making them a subject. But we're not looking for subjects.
So
So this is gonna be this is absolutely hilarious little
Oh
side.
boy.
so we are going to just send our
It begins.
You can also select them from the outliner as a shortcut, but Yes.
Yeah, I could do that. A naval invasion is what we're gonna do. We're gonna naval invade North Borneo, and did I? Oh,
You
right.
select the general.
And
as well.
then we have to select who we are landing, and it is the general. So he is en route. It will take 46 days, 45 days. I don't think, again, that North Borneo... Oh, we get a conservative party happening. Oh, right, because we have an election happening. We have an election
Just in time for the election.
All right.
That's how you win elections. Start a war just
Yes.
before it. It's an old trick. Oldest trick in the book.
And they, of course, have no coastal defense, so we are just going to get to fight their 3 battalions.
Yeah,
probably.
so basically to invade, we first have to fight a naval invade. Our navy first have to fight any defending navy, but there's no defending
Can you
navy.
play as a small nation
And
like the
then our
Philippines?
landing
Yeah, if
army
it's
has
a
to win a sort of
if it's
beachhead
like a
battle, which I don't
release
think should be a
nation or whatever,
problem,
you
especially
can definitely
now
do that.
switch to skirmish infantry.
Overly enthusiastic partisans. Supporter of the
Time
Free
for
Trade Party
war.
has gone beyond simply campaigning for their own party, harassing and sometimes physically attacking opposing partisans. Do we want to crack down on that, which will reduce their momentum for this election, or let the partisans continue unmolested?
I think that these legitimate political activists should not have their freedom to advocate for free
You can
trade.
even play as support
That
nations.
makes
Oh my
sense
god,
to
that's
me.
cool.
That makes sense to me. Let's let them continue.
Free trade leads to free people and freely.
Well, their money went
taken
from
goods
-10 to
from
-18.
certain election
That is how it
headquarters.
works. That is how it works. And
So that war's
remember,
gonna get
after
spendy.
this election, we're going to reform our government.
Yeah, and we're gonna put the Free Trade
industri-
Party in power.
Exactly, exactly. So let's let them continue campaigning. They're doing well so far. They have a positive momentum and are likely to win an absolute majority here. Oh, nice. Here we go. We have a front. We are currently fighting. We are doing fine. I think. Oh, he made a blunder.
Yeah, but it shouldn't really
He
matter
dug
in
in.
this particular
But
case.
we're outnumbering him by 5 to 1.
So a baboon can lead this army to victory.
Yeah, which is almost literally what's happening right now. But yes,
I'm very disappointed. I thought it was such such an impressive figure. Now it's kind of
yeah.
yeah.
Look, we all make mistakes. All right.
He is a bit past his prime. In all honesty.
Yes.
But look at him. He's in this prime.
We
you can
just
see.
recently promoted him to, he's struggling with command. We're good. We're good.
Terrain
We're doing
jungle, so
fine.
terrain
We
types
won
will
the
matter.
battle, and we are continuing to advance. We only have a couple more provinces to take. The
Good.
Free Trade Party is going. It's going even better than
Yeah.
before.
What happens if he were to die in the middle of the battle?
Then you would basically get. It's possible to have a battle with no commander. It's just that then
Yeah.
you don't get any benefits from that commander skills, and I think you get a penalty as well, if I recall correctly.
Yeah.
Does technology
yes.
affect
So-
how well the army does in battle?
Does technology? Oh, definitely. So what it primarily does is it unlocks the ability to use those production methods that we saw earlier. So we changed our barracks to skirmish infantry, right?
Yeah.
That provides
Oh.
more offense and defense than before, and increases the training rate and so on.
And there's a lot of other methods like different artillery, there's
Yeah.
scouts, there's like tanks and so on later on.
Yep.
Let's have a peek at the war screen and see how things are going in terms of dead and wounded, because
Going well.
yeah, I mean we have actually lost more people than they have.
I mean, we've spent 100 times more on the war
Yes.
than they have,
So
but
this is of course super relevant. It's bringing up how much did you pay for this?
Yep.
Because yeah, of course we're kind of just walking over them.
Yeah.
But we're also losing troops to attrition,
Yep.
and we are paying. Well, we're going into debt. This is not cheap. War is not cheap in
Yep.
53.
Yeah. So just as here, we're gonna take a short break shortly. I think we might want to finish a war first.
Yeah,
because it's
it-
almost
Yes,
over.
this war should
like
be over
almost-
pretty soon.
almost over.
So let's finish this war, and then we're gonna take a quick break because it's a long stream. So we're about halfway through here. So yeah, let's just give you guys a heads up.
Let's do one more.
Yeah. I mean, this is we're just mopping up,
Doing
and then
fine.
we're just gonna wait for them to surrender, which will not take a long time.
No.
Yeah, we need to figure out the whole vegetarian pizza conundrum here.
I would like some food, actually.
Yeah.
I may...
Finish the war!
I am not a vegetarian when it comes to
if they take a break, we'll skip it.
So I will just say that.
So we have... They have one more province to go.
So they're capturing the
So they're
last
quite
northern
defeated.
section of...
But we can see their war
Brunei?
exhaustion is atrocious. They are... Yeah. Look at that. So they're almost 100% occupied, right?
Yes,
So
and people are
there's
wondering
a
where
lot.
our dead are coming from. Is it from battles?
It's from attrition.
No, it's from attrition.
I mean, we're getting some from battles as well.
What does the Britons want, by the way?
I think they want to take on our debt.
They want to take on, has taken on our national debt. As a
Oh.
result, we now owe them.
Oh, right.
obligation.
No, this is... You have to actually accept the...
Oh, this is incorrect. Yeah. So, as we can see here, we now have used half of our national credit, and we're actually paying like quite a lot in interest every month or every week.
Wow, look at that, negative 13.
So they are offering to do this in exchange for an obligation. That is horrible. We are definitely not.
No, we don't want them. We don't want them to have a strong hook on us. So we're gonna decline.
Forget that.
And we're gonna have to, let's say, get a little creative with our finances after this war.
Look, if we just say give up, they will not give up. Because
you can see their acceptance by their little... It's minus 16.
Yeah. So
they're gonna...
Minus 4 now.
Pretty soon they're gonna...
Soon they will fold.
They will fall. They would fall automatically.
Yep, the United States is in the game,
minus 100 here, but...
Yep, you can play as the USA.
They will give up before that. Because now we are gonna make peace within 1 month.
Yeah, I think, what shall we tax? Because I guess that's how we're going to finance this.
Well,
taxing.
so...
Great.
We are also...
We're paying 21k in construction goods. So, but you know what? Fixing the economy is for after the war.
Yeah.
Specifically because we're going to take a break after this war. So we're just going to wrap up the war. I think you can propose peace to them now. You did.
Yeah. It is.
We're just waiting for them to
it
accept.
Is being accepted.
And when they fold, we're gonna take a short break. Okay, there we go.
There you go.
We have North Borneo.
And
the war has been won.
Our election was over at the exact same time.
Oh, that's perfect.
Free trade party.
Victory day and election day is the same.
We can do lovely, and then we can do our government.
Okay,
right,
so
let's do that after the break. Yeah.
Yes. Now we won the war. After we're gonna try to win the peace because Jesus, our finances look terrible.
Yep.
Okay.
All right. Let's continue trucking, brother. Oh, well, that was interesting. The naval invasion, I was expecting to see maybe like a big naval convoy heading through those trade routes and actually see ships hit the shore. Or some sort of visible army or something on screen. It just kind of seemed like the map just changed colors and everything was done on a side screen, but I'm not entirely sure. Here we go.
It was the best of times.
She's talking about the 80s.
It was the worst of times. The Victorian age promised a grand tomorrow. Now,
yeah, like that ship there.
Get to build it.
So yeah, again, remember, 25th of October. Not over yet. Now we got to pay for the war. Let's see how you get ready for the next war.
Hello again and welcome back.
You're back.
Our short little break, and if there are any new viewers here, I'm Björn, community manager for Victoria 3. With me I have Martin Wiss, the game director, and I have Mikael or Lecek, the lead designer. And we were just in the middle of finishing a war and an election.
We won the war. The people who we wanted to win the election won the election, and our finances are doing great, and all reports to the contrary are anti-Dutch propaganda.
Yeah, that's right.
So, just side note, the pizza was good. Wiz has not gotten his food yet. We're waiting for his vegetarian food. People were curious.
Their confusion has been apparently a thing, but it'll be fine.
Let's jump into this. So we're reconstructing our government, I believe, and now Wiz actually got his food.
Yes, let's just go through the budget, and then I'll pop up for a few minutes, and then we will. We're not gonna pause. You'll just take my chair.
Me and Mikael, we will run this country.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
It's gonna be the greatest country.
Yes. So we'll have to fix this budget, right?
Yeah, that's a horrible budget.
I think the most significant thing is that we are still building a lot of things, and I would actually say that we should put a kibosh on that port. At the very least, once the glassworks finishes, we should pause the constructions.
Exactly.
Because we are paying a lot of money in constructions, and that port is not that urgent.
Yeah. To remind people, all we're doing with that port is connecting up our colony, which is really the back end of nowhere anyway, so it's not really relevant at this time.
Alright, and now I will head off and eat my food, and I will be back in a few minutes. And I think the one thing everyone is going to remember about this stream is not Victoria 3, it's the food shenanigans, and I am okay with that.
So,
what's Björn's title? My title is community manager.
We have now finished our
Or
glassworks, and we're going to pause all of our construction until further notice.
Oh, look at that.
And then let's
the budget's
take a look
improved
at the budget.
quite a bit.
Yes, let's. And
Quarter
let
of the
me
way
get
there.
untangled here. There we
A
go.
third of the way there.
Woohoo! I got closer.
So we got to try to balance these books a little bit. We're taking in 50,000 every week. But we're spending 60,000 every week.
Yeah, and just to put out, like, if you look at the top here, you see the pound sign, or you see. So we see here that we're currently minus 10k, and that red bar means that we are in deficit.
Yeah.
So when that red bar fills up, that's not good, is it?
No, that isn't. So now this actually might not be as bad as I thought, because construction goods are dropping down to 0 now because I paused construction, which means we are actually in.
Look at how quickly they were able to recover like that.
Because we do still have to pay the wages for the people who work in the construction industries, but we don't have to pay for the goods because we're not building anything. So we are running a positive balance, which means we will start to pay off this this debt that we have, which will over time reduce the interest
quickly
that we are paying as well. But it's going to take.
Look at those charts.
We borrowed
the reserves.
$1 million that we're going to have to pay back.
Leveling off.
Time.
Oh my God.
So we do actually want to be increasing our revenues a little bit. We could also, of course, control our expenses.
And we could tax shit.
Or we could tax shit. What do you think we should do, Björn? Do you think we should control our expenses, little lean government style, or do you think we should just tax more people?
I think we should tax more people.
Tax more people, okay. So, we have a few options, and I'm actually going to pause because Martin's not here, so he's not to. We can do a couple of things. We can just straight up raise taxes.
Consumption. There's many different to do. Income poll, consumption.
Which will reduce
dividends,
our legitimacy, and which will increase the number of
money
people
printing,
that
maybe
become radical as their standard of living drops, because they're of course blaming the government for this. In terms of our loyalists and radicals that we haven't really gone through, so I'm going to go through it now. loyalists are those pops that are loyal to your country, and they contribute to the approval of the interest groups, which in turn gives us those nice bonuses that we saw earlier, where you research tech faster, or you get some bonus to your influence or whatever. And radicals is the opposite of that. They contribute to the disapproval and will also contribute to the radicalism of political movements.
And this is so cool how so many things are connected.
So the danger here in raising taxes is that more people are going to drop in standard of living, and they're going to be more angry about it because the taxes are high. They know that's a reason why. Another thing we could do is we could reform our tax law. We could go in and say per capita taxation is not good for us anymore. We should have land-based taxation or proportional
Jesus, here comes the guy who eats faster than anyone.
How fast do you eat, man?
Listen.
What? He was gone for less than 5 minutes.
While he's doing that, yeah. So we
the fear of leaving you guys, especially Björn, with the Dutch economy, had me eating fast.
Yeah.
I actually got the burger, and the burger was nice.
All right. So, I was just going through the different ways we could be saving money. We are actually in the green, Martin, because as soon as we pause construction,
cool,
we're back in the green.
Yes,
but
and it's only going to take us 1,000,000 years to pay off all our debt.
Exactly. It's going to take so long to get out of this hole. So we will have to either increase revenues or control our expenses a bit. So I was saying, like, we could change our tax law.
Yeah.
Maybe something like land-based taxation.
This is looking a little not great, though.
Nobody wants it.
No,
right?
nobody wants it.
But yeah, the only thing would be.
This is amazing. Look at all the. I wish we got this level of detail in many other games.
Yeah, no, but that's maybe. You know what? It's not.
We can raise taxes.
We can raise taxes.
It's not going to be very popular.
Yeah, we just talked about that. We could also add more consumption taxes, or we could increase tariffs. That's another thing we could do.
Yes, I would like to point out that since the last consumption tax and the war, the number of radicals in the country has jumped from about 5,000 to about a lot more.
It jumped a lot, but then it started decreasing. Because
right.
I think, I don't know, maybe the people who worked in the arms industries made some money. But yeah, we could add more consumption taxes.
I don't think we should be taxing something too... What I think we should be doing...
Tobacco, maybe.
Yes, let's do some sin tax, because people don't get as upset about the sin tax. It's not going to hit the... Luxury taxes in general aren't going to hit the people that are most likely to start bread riots.
Yep.
So, yeah, let's tax some tobacco.
We can actually see here that it... yeah,
taxes,
right, so,
money.
But yeah,
money.
It's gonna hit everyone, but not as much. Like taxing grain, for instance, is a really good way to get people upset.
Yes. Now we could also be controlling our expenses a bit. We could reduce wages for government workers, for example, right? This is real wages, right? So pops are getting paid this money. So yes, this will lead to government workers decreasing in standard of living and radicalizing. But not to the extent that raising wages would, or raising taxes would.
Yeah.
And they are getting paid a lot.
But isn't there a way we can do this without getting people angry? For example, what are we paying for our government goods? Do we have any expensive government goods? Because that's usually the question I ask myself.
Expensive government goods.
Yeah, maybe all those
slippers,
golden toilets. Golden toilets are probably getting a little expensive.
We don't have enough of them.
We don't have enough shipyards to make them, and we have fishing wharves now.
Yes, so we're started using a lot of boats, and this is putting a strain on our general boat status. I would also say that if we don't have any paper mills, we could also try to import more paper and push the costs further down.
That's true. We could do that also. But I think definitely we should be expanding our shipyards. They're making bank.
Yes, but on the other hand, then we're building again. I know.
Always that.
It's always building.
That.
I have an alternative suggestion. What if we take the boats away from the fishers?
Take boats away from the fishermen?
You're gonna make
what?
You're gonna make them. Yeah.
Now people.
No, they will actually make more money We'll get less fish, but they will make more money because they're paying a lot for those boats right now.
Yeah, but what about them groceries though?
Well, what about those fish prices?
Yeah. No, it's true. It's
Food.
true. It's fine.
Cool.
I'm
now
with you.
we have
Yeah.
expensive fish. So what we can do now is that we can actually import some more fish.
I was going to say tax a fish, but no.
Well, we
that's
can do
a bad
that,
idea.
but no.
We can import some fish. We have how far we have fallen. We have
Yes.
gone from a fish producing country to a fish importing country.
Is it horrible?
We can actually make a lot of
Yes, but
money.
keep
doing
in mind,
this.
who do we have a trade agreement with?
Sweden.
Yes.
Much better.
Yes.
On the other hand, that means we're not going to make money in tariffs.
This is true, actually.
Um,
So we would make 877. No, you're right. In this particular case, let's maximize the tariffs.
Yeah, it's going to cost bureaucracy, but it's going to yield us more money in
And we have
import
the
tariffs.
bureaucracy.
Yep, exactly. So let's use it. Let's use it. So as you may have noticed,
impound the
if you are
fishing
running
boats and
an
charge a
excess
royalty, yeah.
bureaucracy, then you get a small bonus. So in this case, we get a tiny.
I asked earlier, but Chad, who are you going to play as?
um,
First Nation.
bonus.
First
But,
run in
it's not
Victoria
enough,
3. Who you playing as?
of a benefit.
I'm liking the Dutch so far. It's very
So I
interesting
think
so
we should
far
just
to be
use it
in
if we can.
So, furthermore,
a few places
it
at
turns
once.
out that we should stop improving relations with Prussia and Sweden because we're now at 50.
Prussia, British.
And we cannot get it
Yeah.
higher than 50 with improved relations. We should
Yeah.
actually see if we want to sign a diplomatic deal
Japan.
or something with them instead. And we already have a trade agreement with Sweden, and I think that's
USA, Britain.
about as
Yeah.
far as our relationship goes. We can ask to become the protectorate. Let's not.
Sfadia.
Let's not do that.
Wait, is that ask us to become their protectorate or the other way
Yeah,
around?
this is
This is
us
we
saying
become a
Prussia,
protectorate.
Yeah,
would
okay.
you please permit us to be a protectorate of you? Which sounds silly, but it's something that you might want to do if you're a weak country that's beset by great powers. You might want the protection of
But
another
let's get our
great power.
diploma. At the very least, let's get our influence back from improving relations, because having a extra influence makes infamy decay faster. And we did accrue some infamy.
That is true. That is very true.
Remember, you were
Um,
going to change urban center production methods once the glassworks finished.
Oh, you are right. You are right.
Well, Chat was right.
Glassworks.
All credits to Skycroft NN.
They're doing okay. They're doing okay. Glass is not super cheap though, but
I do think we have a better glass production method.
And the release date yet? Yes, October 25th.
We can make leaded glass,
leaded glass,
which would
What?
require lead. We don't have lead, but we can
don't have
import
lead,
lead.
but we
Crystal
can-
glass or houseware plastics. What?
Let's import lead.
Even back in 1839?
Well, no, we don't have a demand for it right now. So
Oh, right.
yes, this is a little
Yeah,
slightly
yeah,
awkward
yeah.
thing.
No,
Where
that makes sense. That makes sense. So
Yes.
we
On
we
that
have
big
to-
of a
we have to
scale
do
to
this
make it
first.
so that way you could sell it?
I mean, we don't have to.
we have
so
to create the demand before we can
create
actually
the
import
demand.
it.
Then we.
Now it's looking
Now
better.
it's looking a lot better. Now we can import from Austria.
Austria, but Prussia would let us not use any
Ooh.
convoys. I think we're fine on convoys though, so
Yeah, we have.
yeah, let's
plenty of
take the more
convoys. We
profitable
may
one
as
because
well.
we need the money. Now, have we activated the glass market center?
We have not yet. We gotta do that.
So many things to do.
So many things. Market squares.
Mhm.
And now.
Oh, true,
let's
yeah, a
have
lot-
look.
How's
This is a good
our-
time for inventions, so
How
yeah.
are our
A lot of things will be invented
okay,
later.
we're
Very,
doing-
very good point.
Glass is not cheap.
Glass is not cheap at all. It is quite expensive, in fact, because urban centers buy it and pops buy it. And glass.
We're just not producing enough. Are our glassworks still staffing up? Or are they fully staffed up?
Good question.
They
They
did-
are
they
They're
did-
fully staffed up.
fully staffed.
Okay.
Let's just auto expand them.
Yeah, people are also saying
Oh.
you forget it to reform. We're supposed to reform the government.
Oh yeah.
Uh,
Man. Okay. Yeah. Let's.
it
just
isn't
do this.
easy always to stream and play at the same time.
Now they got
Let's
plus
just do this.
6,000 rather than plus
the
2.
benefit here of doing this within after an election period is that you don't get any radicals for changing your government. So
Oh.
this is not done yet. This is just sort of like a holding area. You can't
None?
have
No
anybody in
radicals at
government.
all?
So we're gonna introduce the
Interesting.
industrialists in the
Free
Free Trade
trade.
And
Party.
the question is, do we want to coalition them with anyone? Maybe we want to coalition them with
Do we
intelligentsia.
want to do that?
How would that look legitimacy-wise?
slightly
It's actually
better.
looking good.
Slightly better, but not so much to make a difference, I would say. It depends, do they have
Yeah, do they have anything we support?
anything we support? So let's take a look. We can see what laws the government supports here. So oligarchy, wealth voting, no thank you, etc. Free trade, laissez-faire. We talked about free trade. Private schools, private health insurance, etc. What happens if we introduce the intelligentsia? Now suddenly we can introduce racial segregation,
Wow.
cultural exclusion,
Which, believe it or not,
multiculturalism.
is progress as
Yeah,
far as Netherlands is concerned.
this sounds horrible, but of course it is a liberal step from what we currently have. Total separation of church and state, appointed bureaucrats might be interesting.
Yes.
No, we currently have elected bureaucrats.
Okay,
right?
no, then,
yeah, no,
then
then we
we're
don't want to
good
do
on
that. Guaranteed liberties. Yeah, and that's it.
Private
Women in the
schools,
workplace,
suffrage, poor laws,
Um,
women in the workplace.
I think this is a
There's a
strong
lot of
coalition.
options for laws.
Yeah, let's
and
go with
will
it
give
for
us
now.
a bit more options.
And
movement
then we were
support.
going to change our trade laws.
Wow.
We will confirm that government, and we will then.
And also,
change
just
our
having
trade
higher
laws.
legitimacy means we'll have an easier time changing this law.
Yes,
So
that is
yeah.
right.
Explain now how the law changing mechanics work here.
Yeah.
Oh.
So every 180 days, actually, it is going to be more than that, and I'm gonna find
310
out
days,
what
is
Yeah,
it?
it depends on
it's
your
gonna be
legitimacy.
310 days. So it's going to take a while to get this done. But every 310 days, we have a 30% chance that this free trade law will be enacted. And that is because that is how powerful the industrialists are, which is the government interest group that supports this.
Yes, and if there were government interest groups that opposed it, which might be something you need to do, well, you might need to build a coalition with a party that is kind of opposite, because that's the only way to get a good legitimacy. It really depends on your laws and distribution of power and votes and so on. Then they're going to sort of try to stop it. So passing a law will not.
There's a
necessarily
battle
end in
within this
success.
battle.
Yeah, and there's no risk though.
Everything's
of
war.
This law enactment stalling out now. So it's either going to succeed on the first try, or it's, if not, likely it's going to advance.
If there is a debate, there's not a huge chance, but if there is a debate, we could have a setback.
That's true. That's true. And what will happen then is that we will get an event of some kind where we have to make some sort of trade-off, probably.
Or we might just get a little effect. We'll see.
Yeah,
we'll see when we get there.
Yeah.
We get some questions about tutorials in the chat.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's correct me if I'm wrong, unless you change something. As far as I know, like at the beginning there, if you saw the stream from the beginning, you can pick what kind of game you want to play. If you want to play
true. There's many different game modes, so there's probably some more focused for war. Warfare.
Yeah, so you have different objects, so like economical and like cultural, or is like humanist, socialist, society-based. Egalitarian, that's a term. Thank you. So you can pick that, and by picking that objective for yourself, the game will then guide you and give you tips and advice and explain mechanics that you need to do, like objectives for you to achieve that overall goal.
Yes, exactly.
But we have chosen a free game now, like you just
like sandbox.
So we don't get any of those.
But how about more war?
We have a few relevant questions.
We only got like a little.
Go ahead.
Like a blink of an eye, it was over.
If taxing a grain is a good way to force reforms into your country. Generally
grain
speaking,
taxation?
Angering people is a very risky way to try and force reforms. You're kind of more likely to trigger a civil war, or you can also just trigger a powerful political movement which wants something. But it's like you can play around with this, but generally just taking food away from people isn't going to just let you do whatever reforms you want, kind of Vicky 2 style. It might trigger a bunch of useful political movements for you, or it might just trigger a general uprising and secession. That's very, yeah. If you're aiming for peaceful reform, as opposed to just launching a revolution and then siding with the revolution and trying to win the revolutionary war, which is a way to get reforms, a very risky way to get reforms, then coalition building and weakening interest groups that don't want the things you
What's up,
want,
Maros?
and strengthening interest groups
Dude,
that
where's
do
the
want the things
trains?
you
I
want
want to
is
see trains,
pretty much
bro.
the way to go,
Oh,
as
there's
opposed to
there's
just
a train line there.
randomly angering people and then somehow being able to pass reforms.
Yeah, I think it was Paul that has spoken.
I guess they're usually
warmly
playing
about the
zoomed out,
taxation
so
of
it's hard to
grain.
see
I
some
think
of those
that's
things.
where
Yeah,
this whole
Paul-
idea is.
Paul, the Prey has a degree in economics, so when he tells you that it's always a good idea to tax grain, you should listen. So we also have a question if you have to micromanage all imports, or will the free market take over? You have to set up the trade routes, imports and exports.
Wow.
So you have to determine like the broad trade, we're gonna trade this good with this country. But after that, the trade route will grow or shrink according to market conditions. So for instance, we've been getting variable amounts of iron from Sweden depending on our demand for iron. So when our demand for iron is high, we import more iron from Sweden. When our demand for iron is low, we import less iron from Sweden.
Yeah, and if you want to discuss the grain tax further, PDJR Alastorn in the chat is actually Paul, I believe. So
Yes, he
you can
is.
just-
Wow.
you can just
And he is
debate it with
playing
him.
4 wiki campaigns and taxing grain in all of them right now.
Tax that grain, boys.
Our construction
Secret.
is still paused, of
Yeah,
course.
but our
I've-
income
I've
is
queued
picking up.
some
I
stuff.
think not
Great
just
games are
from
coming, I
our
agree.
raising revenue
I
and
agree.
cutting expenses either, but actually because our economy is growing.
This was
Oh,
exciting.
because
you cut the wages. You naughty boy.
Ninja cut the government wages.
You naughty designer.
But let's see. So Clippers, we do.
Oh, you
we
saw a
do
train
wanna-
earlier? Oh.
Okay, so I think
So many menus on the screen. I
think
don't know
we
where
should
to
just
look.
Let these auto expand as needed, actually.
All right.
Because it will.
Actually, what's our
meet
investment pool
demands.
like? Because that is, you shouldn't just be looking at.
Yeah.
It's not super great, but we'll have to build up our capitalist class more if you want a bigger investment pool.
Yeah. We have some, but it's
Yeah.
not amazing. It's gonna last us for maybe like 4 or 5 weeks of construction.
So
Probably.
the thing is, like, actually deficit spending and building like this is a perfectly valid way to play the game. You can do this. It sort of comes down to you want your economic growth to outpace the growth of the interest rate you're paying. So it's not that it's wrong exactly. It's just also a little dangerous because as we're just going,
You can build
increasingly
better
into debt,
trains,
let's imagine
electric,
that someone wants to
petroleum.
attack us.
What?
And now we
can build,
don't
like,
have the money to actually support our troops.
Electric
we
and
might have
diesel
to
trains?
accept that British bailout to save
I
our
suppose that
country.
comes around in like the 20s. Or well
Iron
before. But I know I've
is
seen them in the
expensive
20s.
and
Wow.
is for some reason a government.
That's amazing.
Because we use it in the construction.
Walter Olivos, I think is the same guy, has been asking for like 2 hours now. Can you stop another country from importing a certain good from your country?
You can embargo another country, which
Oh.
it won't stop a particular good. There's two
Yeah.
ways you can do this basically. First of all, if you just don't want other countries, for instance,
Naval
importing
blockade.
your guns because you need your guns for your army, then you can put punitive tariffs on exporting your guns, which will be an effective trade barrier because, like we said, trade routes follow market forces, and if tariffs are high, trade routes will trade less because they're less profitable. The second way is if you just hate a specific country and you don't
Wow.
want them to trade with you, you can place an embargo on them, which does require bad relations. You can't actually just go, oh yes, we have a great alliance with Prussia, we're super friends, but by the way, I'm going to embargo all goods from your market. You have to ruin relations and break that alliance first before you can actually embargo them. And this is a very general thing with relations in Wiki 3D. You will need low relations to be able to do hostile things, and you need high relations to be able to do friendly things. So you can't just be like, yeah, you are constrained by relations in much the same way that the AI countries
Yeah,
are.
you can't make a 180-degree turn then.
So I realized that
Be
the
friendly
state
with
we
somebody,
co-
then invade them.
Yes.
We've done nothing with it.
No, we should. Yeah, we should build some iron mines.
So
I think we're.
Hell yeah,
I
brother.
think we're fine. Like, sure, we paid off some
Start
debt,
exporting that
and
iron.
we are making more money now, even if it's because of naughty reasons. I see you're expanding the construction sector too.
Yeah, I figure we can build at least one local construction sector there, and then we will get a little bit of a bonus. But we want to actually do wooden buildings first because they have no iron there. Nitroglycerin.
Ooh. Yeah, now we can start.
Nitroglycerin, you say?
They're using that in the mining.
Let's start
Well,
blowing things out of our minds.
yes. I mean, we only have some in progress iron mines, but
Yeah.
I think we definitely should be, as soon as those are done,
Yeah.
we should be using those explosives.
Absolutely.
Good.
Absolutely. So, we have built a construction sector, we are building iron mines, and yes, as soon as those iron mines are done, we are gonna start using nitroglycerin. So, what that is going to do, right, so it's gonna consume some explosives, so we need to get some explosives.
Make more, yep.
But it's gonna produce a lot more iron for us.
Yes.
Just
Good.
at the expense of a little bit of increased mortality.
Nuclear aircraft carrier.
They knew
go.
the risks.
That's fine. Yeah, I mean, they don't work
I
here. if
mean,
you don't-
iron
yeah.
iron is worth more than human lives.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
yeah.
we don't even have a steam engine.
No, okay, so we're just giving people a pick,
Yeah.
a shovel, and a stick of dynamite. And
Yeah.
no, not a stick and a dynamite, because that would be relatively safe. And a bottle of nitroglycerin.
Oh, here we go.
Oh no!
The Dutch East Indies are
They're in revolution.
they are currently looking to wait.
No, they're not looking to secede.
No, there's an aristocratic revolution within
what?
the Dutch East Indies.
Okay, Well,
We could just let them fight him out.
Austria is supporting.
Can we
isn't it?
see how? Can you look at what the force distribution is like? Okay, so it's 31 for the. Yeah, the aristocratic revolt has most of the
31 versus 13.
I mean, here's the thing: are they still rebellious? Yes, they are.
Yeah.
The aristocrats might not be rebellious.
They're disinterested.
Yeah, but that's because
they don't
nothing's
exist yet.
decided yet.
But yeah, once they take over, they will not necessarily be rebellious. So we should support this revolt.
Yeah, time to blow
Should
things up. Hell yeah, brother.
I think so.
What are we in 1839? They figured that out?
Why can't I?
Oh,
No, it's
okay, we
1840.
actually cannot. That seems like a thing you should be able to do.
Yeah.
You should definitely be able to support different revolts in your subject, so I will look into that.
Yeah. But at least we're not going to be supporting the rebels. So should we just declare neutrality then?
We cannot declare any. Here's the problem though: if we don't protect them, we owe them protection. So if we don't protect them, they're going to be independent.
Catch-22.
If we don't get involved at all, they're going to be independent. So what we need to do is we need to side with this. But I have a plan, Mikael. I have a plan.
Okay.
First, you need to pause because no, you didn't get involved. We're going to lose them now, I think.
No, I mean it's still
Okay.
diplomatic maneuvers.
Yes, but you're the overlord. You have to get involved in the lead-up phase.
I do.
I think yes,
It's
that
too
was a little bit of a mistake.
Well. Shall we cheat?
Unplayable.
I mean Yes, let's cheat in this particular case.
Nope.
So
I can't because it's not my play. Oh well.
we can reload the autosave.
That we can do.
We are save scumming on the stream. I think you need to go older than that.
Where am I now? I'm in May.
Okay, so May should be fine. May should be fine.
I believe I wrote a year about this a long time ago.
Yes.
That you did not auto join the.
I mean, you're not supposed to auto join. You're supposed to be able to go. You can do your own thing. What you should do is should get an alert telling you need to take a side in this right now, or they're going to break away.
So
and also not be distracted by being on stream and make a decision.
now
Cool.
I have.
We're
joined.
backing them.
Now I have joined.
I think it should be like
There
if
is
you
so much going
can
on right
oversee
now.
It, you should automatically you change it. You can
Yeah.
actively change it, but if you forget to do
But
something.
now here's what we should do.
Whoa. Oh, that's because
Yes.
of course we are in.
We should do nothing.
Oh, clever. Okay. So we
Dance,
have
puppets, dance.
we have backed them.
Yes.
Oh, we can.
And
switch
our
sides.
troops. Okay, that's interesting. Let's not do that. That was meant. Yes, apparently we can switch to the revolutionaries. Fantastic. No. So what we're gonna do is that we're gonna send a message telling them help is on the way any day now.
Yeah.
And here's the thing: if the loyalists, if the our subject wins, then they're still going to be rebellious.
Yeah.
If they don't win, well,
Yeah.
then maybe the aristocratic revolt will not be rebellious.
Yeah.
Mm.
But will they be our subjects? No.
Yes,
Are you sure?
I think so. Let's find out. Hot code.
Right. So, how's it going with our iron mines? They have 3 weeks to go.
Oh, they take a long time to
Haven't
build.
given them the nitroglycerin yet.
Yeah, here's the
Eggs.
thing. We're gonna need a port in
I think there is one
North
from the start.
Borneo.
Yeah.
Oh, there is.
Yeah,
Nice. Okay.
They start with the port.
Yeah, the
Beautiful.
economy is going to shitters again, though.
Oh,
What's costing now?
yeah, look at that.
Construction
oh,
goods.
construction.
Because we keep continuing to queue up a lot of buildings.
Yeah, it's so hard to not to do it. It's I could use one more iron mine. Right. So pause construction, and now we are going to need to import some explosives for the time being, assuming that anyone in the
We should
world are making it.
Really sort this one alphabetically. It's on the right, on the paper.
What do we need to produce? Like, since we have the
There.
nitroglycerin, what do we need to produce our own explosives?
Chemical plants.
Yeah. Let's
begin
import
with.
from the Prussian market, because there's a chance the Belgians will just cut off our trade.
Oh, that's true.
Galvar 24 is convinced we're going to lose the subject if we lose this revolt.
Well, if it happens, it happens.
Right. So
We say we're gonna play Netherlands. We didn't say we weren't going to horribly mess up the Netherlands.
dialectics. Finally. Right. Excellent.
I don't think we have to improve relations with France anymore, by the way.
We don't.
No, but let's see if they'll be our friends. No, they will not.
No friends.
No friends.
Aw, no friends.
Yeah,
trade
why would they
No friends with
actually...
France.
So here's an interesting... Like, I'm not sure we need a defensive pact, but let's show this off for the sake of everything. So, yes, they wouldn't accept, but here's a thing we could do. We could owe them.
True.
Actually, we might even be able to get a full alliance if we owe them.
Indeed.
Okay.
So, what's the difference between the defensive pact and an
well,
alliance? Mark?
essentially an alliance, they can support you in an offensive war. Defensive pact, they can only support you in a defensive war. And you can only have one alliance until you unlock fairly late technologies.
Yeah, we're also cutting short on the bureaucracy up here now.
Yeah, but it's such a tiny deficit. It's not a problem yet. We're wasting a little bit of tax.
Yeah.
But if it gets worse, we're going to have to fix it.
I had a question also here I see repeated now a few times. So can we give, like, for example, could you give the new North Borneo there to Dutch...
So there isn't a generic way to do this right now. It's definitely something I want to add, but we haven't done it yet. And we'll see if it comes to release. But there is actually a special thing for the Dutch.
Another
in
war,
where we can give
and they've
them
unlocked
territory with a decision.
percussion caps too.
Right. So, this has now turned into a war.
Oh boy.
And we're gonna have to fight the aristocratic revolt, except for we don't have to, like you pointed out.
Yes.
So there's a number of fronts here because the country's basically
It
split.
begins
Um,
war.
I mean, none of these look terrible. This looks like
Do they have
might-
machine guns?
might be
That looks
going
like-
on.
Yeah, those
Oh, they have
like,
machine guns?
animations are definitely too fast. I
No
think
way.
That's something we have talked about earlier, where
Oh.
it looks a little bit like they have machine guns.
Well,
And
it
we
is the
never
time is going
mobilized
fast, you know?
anyone. We didn't mobilize anyone, so this war is costing us nothing right now.
Nope.
France wants us to enter their customs union. Now, here's an interesting one. This is because we joined their alliance.
Yes.
And this would
Do we
make
want to enter the
us-
French market? Because it would give us access to a lot of goods.
It would.
Let's have a peek. What's expensive and what's cheap in the French market? Because this is gonna be what determines it. Like, is this advantageous for us or disadvantageous?
I don't know how to.
Let's have a look in the market.
Like
Let's
like
open their
so.
market and see
Like-
what's cheap and what's expensive.
like
Click
so.
on the French flag there, right?
Yes.
Like so.
You
Like
click
so.
yes, you click the French market,
French market. There we go.
and then let's sort by most expensive to least expensive.
Sort by most.
Okay.
least. There we go.
They have
Okay,
expensive explosives, so that doesn't help us super much.
Yeah.
Glass, that's gonna help our glass
Yeah.
industries.
Yeah.
Furniture, they're very expensive luxuries. So that our
Ooh.
industries will do well from this. They have lead, which we need.
Yeah.
Oh, right, to make that advanced glass.
They do. Coal is
The
expensive
lead glass.
though. What's cheap? Well, clippers.
Oh
Talk.
wow,
Cheap.
those are some
That's-
cheap
that's
cheap
nice.
clippers.
Talk
That's
is cheap.
good.
Well-
Sugar is cheap. Services. Okay.
You know what? For the sake, at the very least, of demonstration, we're gonna do this.
Yeah, let's do it.
And this is also gonna bring. We do lose our trade agreements, but this is also gonna bring all of our subjects and whatnot into the French market. We're gonna have a
Yes.
really big French market.
So, take that, Belgium.
Let's have a peek at our situation just to see if anything critical has happened since this.
Good.
Nope,
Good.
doing
North
pretty fine.
Born.
And let's have a peek at
What's
our
up, Aaron?
buildings, because things are gonna be very different now. So let's see what's profitable and what isn't.
Yes.
Okay.
Food industries are
Textile
doing
mills are
great.
doing great, furniture
Sugar,
manufacturers are great, glass
Yeah.
works, tooling workshops, yeah.
not so well. Yeah.
We might actually want to. They're doing okay, but it's like if they close, they close. Shipyards are doing awful.
Why?
Because the price of clippers is
cheap clippers.
tanked.
That is true. So
You should definitely cancel the auto expand to begin with, and not that it really matters because they will only auto expand if
Yeah.
they're actually profitable.
But yeah, of course we're building military ships already, and we
Yep.
can't extend.
But what we can do is we can export clippers.
that we can do.
What? What is this?
Because someone
That
probably wants
we
our
can
votes.
do.
Upper right.
Clippers and
The Turks want their clippers,
the Turks.
and the Danes want their clippers.
Yes. But the Turks, we would get the most productivity and the highest amount, so we should definitely go with
Yes,
that.
and that's also
We
exported to the
could-
Danes.
This reminds you of
Let's do
Stellaris?
that.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
Sort by amount,
Nice.
because I think,
Oh.
I'll be frank, there's so many clippers here that
Yeah.
we should be exporting more
Egypt
clippers.
as
I'm not sure
well.
what the French have been doing, but boats are involved.
Egypt as well. Oh, do you think their capitalists might have been building clipper factories, Martin? Egyptian market. All right. There we go. Now we've established a bunch of trade routes, and that's costing us.
Let's look at what our actual deficit here is, because can you click the clippers in the building?
Yes.
And let's look at how much do we actually need to export in the market, not in the estate. Okay, we need to export several hundred clippers to get the price up anywhere decent.
Yes.
Yeah, it seems
we
like
have
there could be a
loads
lot
of
of
convoys.
micromanagement here, yeah.
And we still have bureaucracy.
Yeah.
So I say export
And a lot of
more
depth.
clippers.
Micromanagement's not a bad
You
thing,
get a
neither is
clipper.
depth.
You get a clipper.
So what we're generally doing now is, because our clippers are so incredibly cheap,
That is
just
cool,
about
yeah.
anyone wants to buy them, because they're gonna end up with cheaper clippers than whatever they're locally producing.
Now,
Yeah, didn't we remove it from the fishing? Didn't we take
Oh
it?
yeah, put it back on the fishing buildings, Jesus.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
gonna be extremely profitable. Good point. You get some extremely cheap boats now.
Yep. There we go. So much fish.
Okay, I think
Excellent. So, however, another thing we can do is we can not change the.
no, because we're not the market. We're no longer masters of our own fate. But this is
Why
going to
are-
be great with free trade, though, because free trade has no tariffs. Free trade as
Oh,
a
yeah.
union, a customs union, is bloody fantastic.
Right.
Chat is pointing out that we could probably stop importing fish now as well. With
Yes,
the
we
ship
should stop
clippers.
importing fish. That is also a very good point, chat. Thank you.
Good point.
Fish.
Look at all those
Probably.
luxury
Like, I mean,
goods and regular
We may
goods.
probably making some money. From
Explosives,
Oh.
fish, sulfur, coal. I guess
Oh, France took over our trade routes.
Yeah, because it merged.
No. I think Alfredo was actually just cancelled because
Yeah.
well, I'm not sure what happened
Yeah.
exactly, but something
Ammunition.
happened.
Yeah, no,
We're
so
not importing fish
all
anymore.
of our existing trade routes anyway are no longer
Dye, sugar, clothes, furniture, grain,
Of
fabric,
course,
wood.
that is actually not the case in the development version, but
okay.
then trade routes are taken over if
Yeah.
relevant. But
Nice.
now they're all just got cancelled.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean we have a lot of potential
Nice.
for producing expensive goods for the French now.
Yeah. I think we
Do
should
luxury goods
actually
change depending on your nation/faction? Yeah, they could. It could be like what the
Sure.
nation was producing at like 1836 is when the game starts. So yeah, I would imagine that if
One
you're
level,
somewhere that
please.
produces spices, you'll probably be
Um,
starting with that as a thing. You could probably
let's do
eventually
that.
make some of those things by building factories, especially for things like
I will
furniture and
also point out
glass.
that
But
we're still
like,
very
I'm sure some
heavily-
nations will start with more factories
Oh,
that
we're
produce certain
making
goods.
1K.
how do I manage to get?
But I'm
so
sure there's
much?
some things that absolutely have to be
Because you keep
produced,
building.
imported
keep building
before
things.
produced. Yeah.
Right. So
That's cool.
This is, but
I'm
I
pretty
mean,
sure.
we're still paying it off.
Yeah, no, we're all right now.
We're-
Actually,
We're okay now.
we're making so much money that we're actually managing to cover our.
Oh, it's because the investment pool,
Oh,
which
the
we're
investment
running out
pool
of.
is about to drain.
Yeah,
Well,
and now we've hit it, and now
we
we're
have to
paying.
talk about your addiction to building.
Yeah. How's
What's
that?
a Prussian helmet doing there? What's that message?
That's a battalion reserve. Ignore
Right.
that for now. I think that's actually irrelevant in the current build. We just haven't removed
A
the
war.
overhead. But what is happening right now is that the aristocratic revolt is losing.
Okay, interesting.
We're winning! Woo! Let's send troops now to show our good
Let's
faith.
have a peek over there and see
Look,
what's
we
going on.
help.
The dev diaries say that different cultures can have different obsessions, like the British
There's
really wanting
candy
to
if you
import
want.
tea. Oh my god. That's cool.
Yeah.
It's a little bit messy.
That means you immediately know that you can get more money by exporting
There's some
to certain
unnatural
nations or
Sorry, from
importing
war
from
going
certain
on,
nations.
where there's a battle going on.
Interesting.
I think what's happening actually is that the small subjects of the duchies in this are sort of attacking on so many fronts that the aristocratic revolt is having trouble.
Maybe.
Very cool.
Why are you not
Maybe.
changing the production method of the construction sector? It's because we are we don't have that much iron.
I mean, we could move down to wooden
Yeah.
buildings, and it would cost a lot less.
Let's do that because we're gonna go in default soon.
It's not enough. Not quite enough. Oh, pharmaceuticals.
You're just gonna have to cut back on construction, you know.
That's horrible.
True.
No, I refuse. Bankruptcy is always an option.
Someone who knows the economy help this man. The Netherlands is dying.
Yes. Yeah, we're gonna have to do something. I've already cut wages. I've
Okay,
already
I
cut
think
wages.
you have to do what chat says. Let's start
Oh.
taxing grain.
No.
No?
No, but we are gonna not build for a while, I think.
Oh, and radicalism has been slowly building as well.
Yes.
Yeah, we're gonna have to.
You're gonna
I hate it, but
Yes.
I'm gonna have to do that.
Yes, you are.
I am.
And
going
now we're
to
paying
change
so
that
much in
back.
interest that it's gonna take us ages to recover.
But it's fine because we're paying the interest to our pops.
Very
They are used
interesting.
That is
to
true.
buy
Our rich
things.
pops do get richer from us being this much in debt,
Yep.
which means they're gonna get happier. So
Yep.
that is the upshot.
Makes
to
sense.
Being horribly in debt.
So, just for this is something that I'm not certain of either. Like, so with the radicalism growing, what immediate actions can you take to like combat that?
So we can see that the radicals. You can see the radicals here are mostly situated in.
Ooh, look at
Holland.
the.
So
And if you hover over the tooltip there that you were just in, you can actually see the reason that we're getting radicals.
yeah, so radicals.
It
you're
doesn't
talking
tell you
about this
anything
one.
useful.
This one here.
Yes.
This is from decreases in standard of living, right?
Yeah, so basically we've been putting the squeeze
Yeah,
on
look at that,
people, we've been
radicals.
taxing them, and a bunch of our buildings have not been doing great.
Wow.
And also, there's a lot of angry pops in Brunei for some very mysterious
Yeah,
reasons.
Strange.
For some
so
reason,
one thing
yeah,
we
people
could do,
very mad.
with that, if we were able to do it, which we cannot. But
Violent suppression only really helps once there's turmoil, and we don't have turmoil yet.
that is
We could
right.
do emergency relief,
Yeah.
but that's going to cost money.
Yep. So now, I mean, it's still only 234,000 out of.
Yes.
It's a
Here's
small
what
fraction.
Much more to go.
Here's what I think we're going to have to do. We're going to have to cut back on expenses somehow. We're going to have to downsize our government or pay our military less or something, because this is going to take forever.
Okay. So we can have a look at.
Or we're going to have to hope Britain offers us another bailout,
I
because
mean,
at this point, I think I would actually take it.
Ports, government administration,
Yes.
like all these are necessary, Martin. All these are necessary expenses. We could pay the military a little less. Right? That's okay. We now have free trade. We succeeded.
Right.
We succeeded. This
Yeah,
is
the clouds
fun.
look
This is
nice.
great.
Yeah,
This
I
is
think they look great.
excellent. Now we can focus on something else if we want.
There was
but
a lot
our
of
trade
red
is
there.
Gonna,
Oh boy.
is going to go a lot better.
Wasn't there a lot of red in our political view there? On the overview.
Oh,
Yeah.
like here?
Yeah.
Like
we
landowners
get
and
two-
rural
yeah.
folk are a little unhappy.
Okay.
The revolt
apparently-
is over, at least.
Our subject 1.
The industrialists are very close to activating the job creators trait here, which will force the capitalists to invest more into the economy. It would be nice if we could actually get them across the threshold there. And of course, the way to do that is to make their increase their standard of living. So let's take a look at what the upper strata are paying money for. Services, luxury furniture,
Yes.
and luxury clothes. Luxury furniture is 16.2% of all their expenditures.
So, Mikael, I have a plan.
Yeah.
We're going to raise taxes.
Yes.
There's a decent chance we're going to get a civil war.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And then
Oh
France
boy.
is going to save us.
Civil War now.
Okay.
Great.
That
Does the Oh, that's a good
It's a
question.
plan,
What does
sure.
weather affect gameplay?
raise taxes.
Good question. Like, would a very rainy season or would a very dry season affect
Because
crop
I need
production,
them
which could
for
affect
internal.
prices?
Then
That's a good
tax- Why
question.
not tax grain then?
Does
If we
anyone in
wanna
chat
piss
know?
people off.
Stop building, please.
Oh no.
Please
Yeah,
stop
That's
building.
so much money.
If it was a big drought year, there would be a lot
Um,
less grain, so those prices would go
Why
up.
did it suddenly? Oh, because I.
And if you
the-
produced a
the
lot of
time.
grain, that's a lot of
fine.
money.
I can do it like this. It's gonna be all right. It's gonna
Chat,
be okay.
will you help me with an intervention?
Does anyone know on that?
No,
That's
no.
interesting.
Look, we have 500,000.
I didn't even
in
consider
credit.
that.
We will be okay. I can build some furniture manufacturers. It's just some furniture.
It'd be interesting if weather also
Because
changed
the
battles.
thing is, once these furniture manufacturers
Like if it
are
rained,
done, they're going to
mobility would be
more
less for
luxury
troops.
furniture, which will make the industrialists happy.
maybe it would take
which
longer for
will
boats to
put
move
them
through
over the threshold
storms,
to
troops to move through
contribute more to
storms.
the investment
None of
pool.
which, I will point out, actually gives help with our debt situation.
Yeah, I think
well,
it's possible.
but it will let us build more.
Yeah, the weather could affect a lot.
All right, let's try Mikaelnomics.
It's going to be fine. It's going to be fine.
Oh,
But you wanted to raise taxes, which
These
we
boys
did.
are goofing.
yes.
Can we put any more
yes.
consumption taxes on?
I don't
Not
think so.
really. We could exchange our clothes taxes for
Yeah,
something else, maybe more
but
syntax.
Let's have a. What do we get?
Yo,
from it?
Reggie! Thanks for becoming a Raptor
clothes
Ultimate
tax
member, dude.
gives
Thank you
us
very much for your support.
Yeah, that's all not good for bang for buck. Let's
No.
remove the consumption tax.
We
from
remove
clothes.
that, and we can add liquor
Yeah, liquor. It's usually a classic.
and
Green Eyes in chat, show them some love and some hype. Let's go.
Services is the one that gives us the most money.
yeah.
Well, grain.
The thing with grain is it costs so much authority as well, so it's not always worth
Yeah.
it.
yeah.
Yeah, brother. Welcome aboard, dude.
It's close. It's close. if we
Now
crank-
let's.
Ah.
Oh yeah, that's
Leave it-
true.
leave it
Seasons
alone
as
for
well,
now.
like
So
winter.
did this make? Are we making?
Because as we all know, winter has never
rich
affected
happy
an
now
army
with
before. That's
cheap
for sure.
Furniture.
Not
God.
yet. Not yet, right? Not yet. We have another 16 weeks of this. To
Never
go.
before has winter stopped or affected an
and-
army. In
No.
fact,
but
makes them
it's- but
stronger.
it's we're on the right
Actually,
track
that's
now. See?
that's true
Yes.
for certain
And
On the
all
right
we've
track.
done is cut government
situations
wages
in
to
a way.
the bone, raise taxes
Yes.
through the roof.
Yes.
All so we can continue building.
Yes. Look, building's important. Inefficient
Furniture plants,
agriculture.
mind you.
Oh, right. So they're complaining about the subsistence farms in Galway now.
Oh,
We should not do that. Upper strata
Oh.
pops in Galway? No, thank you. They serve our purposes, I think.
all I'm saying,
We wanted that.
We wanted them to be happy.
Mikael, all I'm saying is, if you were making the economic decisions for a 19th century country trying to industrialize,
Yes.
Britain would be declaring you a protectorate right about
Yes.
now.
Yes. I can see that, but also counterpoint, furniture. Now, this is a tricky one. This is a tricky one now. I don't know what to do.
Oh yeah.
I don't care about migration attraction. I do care about more radicalism among upper strata pops. On the other hand, I also don't want the industrialists to be mad.
Well,
That wasn't helpful at all.
no, it really wasn't. I mean, you have burned our country to the ground to get. Oh wait, they're gonna become unhappy either way because they're gonna get more radical.
Yeah.
Well,
You win. We should follow their advice.
Yes. Just finish your furniture manufacturers and then we can pause.
It's
Look, but now it's all of a
we're
sudden
very,
making
very
money.
close. We're very, very close to. That's starting to look like the price of oil right there.
Anything special happened so far? Well, there was a war that was over almost in a blink of an eye, but it looks like there's on the verge of civil
Oh
war.
yeah,
Maybe.
let's have a look at how our GDP has grown.
We'll see how
because
things
that
happen.
Might be a happier.
Who knows?
That's a slightly happier figure than.
Thanks,
our-
boys, for 600
Yeah.
likes too.
Yep, please.
Appreciate that.
Yeah.
Thank you for smashing the like.
We're a little bit more literate than
Thanks,
we used to
chat.
be.
You're the best,
Our
Smiley.
standard of living has drastically decreased.
I
That's-
wonder why.
Could be taxes, maybe.
I
Could
like
be
that
wages.
curve going up, and it was like up at 14, and then just
Yeah.
a very precipitous drop.
Elzar, thanks for the 5, dude.
Radicals is a curve that's going up.
Appreciate it, brother. Yeah.
Curve go up.
Yes.
At least something is going up.
We've actually dropped a position in our prestige rank as well. That is not great.
I'm not sure our prestige has gone down so much as someone has just passed us because we're kind of messing up our country here.
Holland is in turmoil.
Yes, it is.
Oh boy.
Well-
no, it is no longer.
Cup
turmoil.
noodles in chat, boys. Show them some love.
Okay. Are our colonists in turmoil?
Who
Yeah.
was in the war? It was
No,
between the
Holland is in
Netherlands
turmoil.
and Brunei.
Holland is in turmoil.
It's not.
And then there were like some other forces mentioned, but I didn't really think they showed up.
Okay. Let's see if you can use. Okay, so let's assume it's in turmoil, and let's go ahead and do something about that. So we'll have to lift the encourage manufacturing industry degree, I think,
Yep.
because we don't have enough authority. And then let's switch that to some violent suppression. No?
I can't do that.
Okay, something is
Because
bugged.
I
It's
think there is some turmoil, but it's not sufficient to actually
Yeah.
have an impact.
My bet is that the numbers on the alert are set different to the numbers
Yep.
on the actual mechanics.
Exactly. But okay, we're going in the right direction. I
Yes.
am going to fix this. I'm gonna fix it, Martin. It's
Okay.
gonna be
We
fine.
believe in you, Michael.
God, look at that.
I wouldn't go that far.
Look at
Let's
these.
do
The
that.
charts are all over the place. It went below the graph. Like some of their money and stuff is just like it goes under the graph.
We have a political movement.
It
They want
literally
us to
goes under the
restore
graph.
mercantilism. Landowners
It's like
and
happiness.
rural folk,
Oh,
thought that
straight
was a lot
like
better.
under
Let's
under
not
the
do that,
monitor.
But
No.
fortunately, they're not
It
very
goes off the
radical.
screen.
But they're getting more so.
So yeah, this yes,
I can't
but
believe
you
it.
did just
Yes, I did.
cut a bunch of taxes.
Yes.
So hopefully that radicalism should be
Hopefully
going in
that
the
will-
right direction.
that will
So a
fix
political
itself.
movement is essentially they're demanding a particular law, and based on the strength of the interest groups and the pops supporting the movement, you will both get like a boost if you try to pass the law that the movement wants. It will be, in the case of movements to like protect something, it will be more difficult to pass that law if there's a strong movement to say defend the monarchy when trying to get rid of the monarchy. And also, if the interest groups backing the movements are angry, or if the movement is backed by a lot of radicals, it can become revolutionary, in which case it will launch a civil war eventually, or it will try to launch a civil war to get the political change that they want, plus some additional political changes based on who is aligned with it. But in this case, the radicalism is pretty low, because I don't think the landowners and rural folk are that mad at us. Oh, hey, this isn't great.
We don't have any explosives. It's a problem.
We do have explosives, just not enough of them, I think.
We have 5.
Yes.
Oh
no.
Oh no.
From Belgium. Oh, that's a lot. Yeah.
Where did the explosives go?
That's an insufficient amount of. We really need that.
Yeah, more information is at the pinned message at the top of chat.
We really need these chemical plants.
Fine. I'll allow it.
17 out of 17 buildings.
Right. Do it.
This is the very Wiki 3 experience. It's like you're trying to pay up your debt. You're just trying to be financially responsible.
Yeah.
But unless you spend more money, you're not going to be able to blow up a bunch of laborers. And that is just unacceptable.
Yep.
11 more weeks until they can explode themselves.
Child laborers at that.
Wow.
Okay.
Is that what we're using?
Oh yeah, we have child labor.
Nice.
For
Everyone
the
has
mines?
child
Yeah,
labor.
of course.
Nice.
Naturally.
Let those little buggers work for the money.
We haven't even unlocked the laws to get rid of that yet. Not sure why we want to, honestly.
The rural folk are mad at us and are decreasing our technology spread.
Well,
less fun. Less fun. Overall, people are a lot less happy with us than when we started.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a mystery to me.
I cannot see any reason why.
I don't understand it. I mean,
we got Brunei.
Look, yeah.
We acquired Brunei for the Dutch nation.
We won a war. We increased the GDP. What more do you want? We put in your preferred
They won election too.
The
They won the election as well.
Ungrateful peasants.
Oop. What's that little indicator there?
Mechanical tools. Yes, that's what I want to see, because now I can.
Now we can build even more furniture.
Build even better luxury furniture.
Yay!
Okay, now will you love me, industrialists?
Nope. They like you one less than they did before.
Yeah, because of that event.
It will change. They will change their mind.
One day the industrialists will swipe right on you.
Yes.
But today is not that day.
Today is not that day. Input good shortages for explosives. But I mean, the difference is so enormous.
Yes,
the French are building munition plants, which they should not
Yeah,
do.
I suspect that they were importing the explosives earlier, and somehow their route got cut off.
Yeah, that might.
And now they're kind of in trouble. So can we import explosives from anywhere? Yes.
Belgium.
We can import from the Belgians. Screw it. Fine.
It's at least a little bit.
Yes, we went to Belgium for explosives.
Yes.
2 more weeks. 1 week. Until we get our own explosives.
Our own explosives.
I mean, there are explosives in Belgium.
What?
Ah.
Oh, I see.
No, we're not gonna start any wars with the depth the way it is now. We would go into default, and our armies would absolutely collapse.
So we can only produce artificial fertilizers.
He was proposing
here.
invading Belgium.
It produces 100 fertilizers for us.
And then we should also find something to use them.
we can divert
Yes.
quite a bit to the ammonia soda process. So let's
get into
do
that ammonia soda process, and I would say we probably have some farms you can activate fertilizer use on. So that's
Ammonia soda? I've never had that kind before.
Yes, because we did
Sounds
research
tasty.
that.
Yes, we did.
Right
farms.
Or it's spread to us. Soil enriched farm.
Hold on. There was a shortage warning there. You're activating too much fertilizer. Go back to simple farming. Yeah, let's switch Gelre to simple farming, and then I think Holland will be. You have to be a little bit careful when you're doing that sort of batch switching of production methods.
Yeah, it's looking all right. It's looking all right. Yeah.
We have a lingering shortage, but that's fixing itself.
We are doing fine.
Would we benefit from switching to tools? I'm not sure what the tools price is in the market on the farms. Yes, we would actually.
We would.
Yeah.
Slightly.
Let's use harvesting tools.
We would free up quite a bunch of laborers.
Yes, I was thinking, I seem to remember that tools were cheap in the French market, so
yes,
let's give them some tools.
Yeah, the game starts in 1836 and goes to 1936. 100 years.
The mercantilism restoration movement.
At least without
dropped
mods.
Radicalism, that's good. Probably because we reduced taxes a bit. Right.
I thought the idea was to trigger a revolt.
1837, the game saves and closes.
It was more like,
and then just launches.
I'd rather risk
Hearts
the
of Iron.
revolt at this point because he will not stop building.
No, but now there's only 1 week left for the furniture manufacturers here.
You will finally have Dutch IKEA.
See, check this out.
IKEA.
We're gonna build up our investment pool again, and then it'll be building time.
In the end, it'll just be like the Netherlands will be no more. Will be partitioned between like France, Britain, and Belgium. But you will have your furniture manufacturers, and it will all have been worth it.
It will be fine.
Export Lego.
Look now.
Invade
Check this out.
Denmark.
We're going to build some furniture manufacturers.
Let's see. I'm gonna take a look at some questions actually.
Yeah, why did it jump back?
No.
It was just like 1 week left.
We didn't have enough money.
What? All right.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean we have. Okay, you do you. Let's see. Why care about capitalists becoming radicals? It's not a many downs that it won't rise up with many troops, right? So here's the thing. If the approval of interest groups is reduced if a lot of them are radicals, and it's increased if a lot of them are loyalists, if all your capitalists are radicals, your industrialists are going to absolutely hate you, which is bad for a number of reasons. And they can definitely start a rebellion, get the people behind them, and maybe drag in other interest groups, and maybe even get foreign support, because rebellions aren't just domestic affairs. Other countries can get in as well. Removing explosive iron mine might help with iron production. Unacceptable. Completely unacceptable. That would decrease the amount of nitroglycerin that our laborers are handling, and I'm not okay with that. As a subject nation, can you have an independent market? Theoretically possible, but all types of subjects that are currently in the game do join their overlords market. But you can set, if you were modding, or if we decided to do it in the future, you could set up a subject type that actually has their own market. Yep.
Excellent. Well, I for one is just completely mesmerized by watching Mikael do his economic magic here.
Dude, that graph is all over the place.
It's wonderful.
It's so funny when
how's
they
it
open
going?
that
like,
one.
How's it approval
like
of
plus
those
10,000%.
Bad. They
Negative
just
10,000%.
becoming angrier and angrier.
But the radicals are dropping. That's the good news.
The radicals are dropping. And
turns out, if you stop taking all their money, some of them will cease being mad about it, even if not all of them will cease being mad about it. Because some of them still remember that you did take their money.
Screw frigates. Let's see what we can do with our shipyards now.
Another question, which is very relevant to just bring it up. So we can see on the screen that the radicals are increasing and loyalists decreasing. Why is that? It seemed quite fast. Well, in this particular case, the amount of radicals are increasing and decreasing because Mikael hiked up well, you know, I'm gonna take some partial responsibility for this, given that it was actually my idea, but I will still blame you.
Yeah, that's
We hiked up all the taxes, we cut salaries, and we generally made people a lot poorer, which made them quite mad, quite fast, because, you know, how would you feel about waking up tomorrow and finding out that all your taxes were doubled and all your salaries was halved? Probably not super happy about it. Just a guess. And then we reversed a lot of that, which makes some of the people we made mad stop being mad, but not all of the people we made mad.
we can see on the radicals breakdown here, 587,000 became
Wow.
radical from decreases from decreases in standard of living, whereas 200
Half the country's going to be against this guy.
Also, we have lost 70k radicals because they died.
We're not having that much left, and like I just realized we haven't really looked a lot at the pop browser, I feel.
No, we can take a look at that in a sec.
Postal
so this is
savings
nice, actually.
unlocked?
We got reduced loan interest rate, so we're going to be paying a little bit less in interest now.
Okay.
So, yeah, population. So here are some representative pops from the different stratas in our society, and some breakdowns by profession, by culture, by religion, and in just sheer numbers and political strength, which is often
don't forget the
right?
pie chart button.
Yeah, so
that's a very
if you
important
like
feature.
pie charts, if you're one of those people who prefer pie charts, then you can click on the pie chart button, and there's your pie charts.
Oh.
Now, for me, I'm going to go back to the grid very quickly. The peasant population here we can see is like the
The grid is a little easier to
peasant
see with
neighbors.
squares because
When
then
you
it
look
makes
at
it
the
easier to
political
hover
strength
over.
distribution,
Especially if there's a tiny
that
little...
is absolutely not the case, right?
And peasant population is actually something that's really relevant
A little
to track,
bit.
because your peasant population is kind of your very underused economic potential. Like everyone who's just subsistence farming.
Can't wait till we get to
could
play.
be
I
to
agree.
more
Well,
productive
you know, 25th of
uses, at least
October.
from the perspective
maybe
of
earlier.
us, the player.
Yep.
Maybe not from their perspective, but who cares about them? So a very big part of growing GDP early in the game is just finding ways to
Maybe we'll
put
get to play
peasants in
soon.
places where they're actually making use of taxes.
Yep, which is easier in a country like the Netherlands who don't have serfdom. If you play a country with serfdom, then your ability to use peasants is a lot more limited.
Don't you need a shoreline for serfdom?
So this is all the pops.
You
in the
can't be
country,
landlocked.
Split up by profession. So if we want to look at a particular one, let's say some clerks, and these are now, of course, like broken down by what building they work in, what culture they are, what religion they are. So here are some clerks that work in a port in North Borneo that we just took over. These are Bornean clerks. I suppose they probably worked there prior to us taking it over. They're doing quite well under our rule, as we can see.
Yeah.
They are doing
Well,
quite well.
Quite
you know.
well.
They're
It's
doing
clerks.
okay.
Yeah, that's true.
They're
14
okay.
isn't bad for clerks.
14 and 5.
Yeah, they're working the port, so they're getting a nice fat government wage now that the government wages are no longer horribly cut.
Right. Maybe the government wages are better in Netherlands than
Almost
used to be.
certainly, because government wages are based on your sort of average national wages.
Yep.
So,
and literacy is low but growing, right? We can see they have 28% of them have access to education when they are born.
yeah, but just 12, because they
just
are
based
in an
on
unincorporated state, so they don't get any benefit from our...
education institution.
Yes.
Exactly. If we were to
Wow.
incorporate
Oh, event.
North Borneo, right.
For a game that spans 100
cases
years, there's a hell of a
associated
lot
with
to
the
do.
Conservative Party have been particularly effective in spreading the party line. Should we... they have used the papers brilliantly and will add momentum. Oh, we have an election going, that's why. Or we can just let the paper mills benefit from this. This is a boom for publishers. Do we even have paper mills? I'm not even sure that we
do.
We do
You
have
quite a
5
few
levels.
mills, actually.
Let's do that.
Mhm.
I prefer that to the Conservative Party gaining momentum. So, Where
The game's
was
not
I?
even
Right
10 years
here.
in, though.
Just let me answer a question, because I was going to talk about this earlier, but I'd never mention it. But now we get a question.
only
So
been
the little
playing for,
tick
like,
mark on an event
7 years.
is what will what it will pick if you don't make a choice. That's what will be.
I was
picked
also waiting
you.
for an event to answer that, but I'm glad you caught it since we were busy looking at other stuff. Yeah, and initially events pop up like in the outline and on the map.
So the game will auto-choose.
If you wait too long, it will sort of pop up in your face to remind you.
Oh, it's like the
to deal with
newspaper
this.
from Anno
And if you
1800.
still just wait, then it'll pick the default option.
Yeah, it's like the newspaper.
So you can always like open an event
Yeah.
and close it down again without making a decision if you want, and things like that. So yes, there are.
I could simply go to press.
Quite a few radicals among these clerks, but I think that's gonna improve. That's gonna get better.
The trade unions are not relevant.
Trade unions are not relevant at all, really.
They will become relevant later with technologies and growing industrialization, usually.
And yeah, like I mentioned before, if we were to go into North Borneo and incorporate it, which again, it would take 20 years because of cultural differences, so it would take a long time. But if we did that, then we could extend our school system to Borneo and educate those clerks better. But as it stands, we cannot. We have an election. Oh, wow!
Another
the
election.
Conservatives have really
Those
overtaken
papers were
things.
very effective. Those.
Yeah.
So what's happening here, I believe, is that the Conservative Party has actually grown. I think it just used to be one IG.
Yeah.
But
you're
now it's a coalition of the
Even
church and the landowners that
That's right.
are very tired of all this free trade.
Yep. Yep. So that's going to be an interesting shake-up, I think, in a month.
Yes.
Election happens.
Very interesting.
I mean, we're doing better. Can I start building again?
It depends. Are we invading Belgium?
We
before
have
it's been announced?
112,000 in the investment pool. I'm going to go ahead and start building.
We only have about 15 minutes of game time left, so
True.
if we want to
Oh,
do
no.
some weird stuff.
All right.
We only have 15 minutes of game time on stream left. I can play for as long as I want.
Mikael.
Yeah.
Chat has been asking for one thing since the entire beginning. We're probably not going to be able to finish it, but we can at least start it.
Okay.
Let's invade Belgium.
Good.
Okay.
So what
Under
we're gonna
what
need-
pretense?
Time
Hold
for
on.
war.
First, let's get our finances in order.
Let's go.
Thanks,
You
Greg.
pause the constructions.
Oh,
Okay. You jack up the taxes, because we're going to need some money to pay for this.
no.
But I think all true Dutchmen will sell their clogs.
The
pay for
Dutch
guns to invade
invasion of Belgium.
Do I?
Here we go.
Want to reduce government?
Big,
Let's not
massive,
reduce the
insane
military
million-dollar
size, okay?
Do
invasion
that.
Cool.
begins.
Do we want to make them a puppet?
We have claims on them, I think.
All right, they're going to war.
Return
Time
state.
to invade.
Oh yeah.
Well,
Right.
Okay.
There's
30 infamy.
So France
Support.
is preference to support us. And I'll be honest here, final French AI probably wouldn't be super inclined to support you here. But for now, let's abuse it.
Let's do it. And of course, the other thing we want to do.
Wait,
What
are
is
they
happening
rebellion
here?
again in the
No,
Dutch
it's a
East
di-
India?
Yeah, it's. Yeah, they
Oh
are.
my god.
The fools. So.
Don't forget to pick a side if you don't want to lose them.
Forget it. We will have
I
Belgium
don't-
soon. We
yeah, I
can
don't
forget
care.
about Indonesia.
We're gonna return.
Yes, we're gonna
Bologna as
return
well.
everything.
So now, notably, I mean, these are independent war goals.
We
So
should mobilize and we should conscript. Raise everyone and everything.
mobilize all generals, activate all conscripts.
God, we're gonna go so bankrupt.
There we go.
But maybe the Brits will offer to bail us out again.
I think the Brits will be opposing us, but that's just
Oh,
my
wow.
guess.
Does he have enough?
Yep, they're going to war.
Well, we're gonna find
They're
out. I
invading
think
Belgium.
So he can command 66 conscripts.
Yeah, he's
gonna
fine.
be
He can
fine.
command the entire army.
I'm still
David
impressed.
Hendrik
I'm
Schaff.
impressed that he's still alive. It's like it's our old veteran from the Bornean
All right.
conquest.
Let's see. Okay, we're coming to maneuvers. Mikael,
yes,
the play.
Yes.
The play, Mikael.
Maneuvers.
Okay.
Add war gold.
They want to humiliate us. Okay, so pause.
And revoke.
All right, so this is looking great. We have nobody leaning us. We have Britain, Prussia, Spain, the Ottoman Empire, basically everyone leaning Belgium, and we have
will accept our
France.
France, give France some more.
Russia.
Russia and France. Get Russia and France.
Russia and France.
Well, forget about Russia. They're far away. What can we offer France?
Oh, France. Nothing.
Oh.
Because we already owe them an obligation. But we can offer an obligation to
do
Russia.
it to Russia.
Sure.
Let's
well,
see.
Yeah.
What do you have to lose?
Yeah,
We
this
can't
will
keep-
go great.
We could probably have offered France Wallonia.
The Belgians
here,
will
and then
never
that would
suspect an
probably
attack
have
through
brought them over,
Belgium.
but no, Wallonia is ours.
Right, yeah.
But what happened if we give obligations to Spain and Britain? Will that not
They would
make
not accept.
Belgium?
You could see that there was nothing we could offer them that they would accept.
Oh,
Okay.
we have a problem.
Yes?
We have Luxembourg. And
Yes, Luxembourg is a problem, I agree.
the Luxembourg is going to get invaded.
No.
by Belgium.
Luxembourg is going to defeat Belgium, and I will not hear this defeatist talk.
Okay, I'm just saying we could recruit another general and send him to defend this.
They would be
front,
cut off from
but
supply.
Yeah, they
So that's
would
not a
be,
good
wouldn't
idea.
they?
We'll
We'll rely on France.
We will meet
France.
the Luxembourgian army in Brussels.
Yes.
Yes.
France.
It's a
needs to
two-pronged
come
attack. The
and help
the
us.
Bring in the
famous
tanks,
Luxembourgian pincer
cruise
move.
missiles.
Pincer move.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
The British India Company has apparently, interestingly enough,
Bring an A-10 airstrike in.
Forget about this. We don't care about Indonesia. Indonesia isn't even a real place.
Right. Yeah.
Wow.
East India Company is supporting Belgium.
Which is interesting. It's just the
Stupid.
Why do they
East
even have
India.
an interest here? But I guess they do.
I mean, they're dragged in because of Britain. They really shouldn't be going in independently, but like I said.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, no, they want to liberate Brunei. That's why they're getting involved.
Oh.
They want Brunei for themselves. So there's actually a reason they're getting in. Of course, they care because Indonesia, they think Indonesia is a real place, and they don't know that it's not a real place.
Okay.
And interestingly,
Yeah, they're
nobody else is
starting a
getting
world
involved
war
right
over
now.
fancy
I think
furniture,
AI
yeah.
might be a little too passive in this build, but that's good for us.
Good for us. Good for us.
Prussia and France is on
countdown to war.
on the fence. So.
Yeah.
But it's too late now.
All right. We are going
War.
to lose Luxembourg.
We're gonna win Belgium.
Yes. We believe in Luxembourg.
No, Luxembourg is going to be...
This is only because you didn't believe in Luxembourg.
Yeah.
That's the only
Oh,
reason they
no.
were defeated.
Oh no, this is not good.
There's a
Uh,
ton
but
the
of
East India Company
That
are invading.
battle lost
what?
today. Wait,
Okay.
what?
Yeah.
Okay, but we're beating back the Belgian army.
Woohoo!
Yeah.
Let's not do a
Chassis.
3-5 war here. Let's
Capture the French
we're
fries.
running out of time. I think we have a few more minutes.
Yeah, no, it's we still have like 10
Yeah.
minutes.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
fine.
Okay.
Okay. That.
Yeah.
We're bigger. We're bigger. This is fine.
How are we doing on guns?
Oh, we
We're
can also
actually
do.
making- we're
We
actually
can also
making money here.
invent stuff.
Good.
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 We have interests that are going to disappear soon.
El-
Are we? Oh, because we're doing so poorly for
Yes,
rank?
we dropped to a minor power.
Oh no, why?
I think we lost Indonesia.
Bad. Bad.
Yeah, we didn't protect Indonesia, so because it's not a real place.
Shoot. shoot.
Apologies to
Just
any
invade Belgium, who
Indonesians
cares?
out there,
Just go.
Right now, Indonesia.
You have
is not
15
a real
minutes,
place
hurry it
because
up.
Belgium is.
Full scale invasion. You're
Uh,
just playing for the stream. Go.
Yeah. Okay.
This is what you wanted,
Get their
chat.
beer.
This is what you wanted.
Get their chocolate. Find out how the hell they make
Yeah,
it.
what's right? Russia is fighting someone.
I think
Who-
Russia has sent troops actually.
Get the waffles.
Yeah, but I
get their
think there was
beer.
there
get
was
their
a front
chocolate.
in Perm. We get a notification about
Okay,
the Perm
can
front.
we have a
so
What
so
else does
there's
Belgium
this
got?
front
Fries?
up in Perm. So this is like
Can we take a little zoomed out mode and see what's going on? Because
Cut off
Okay.
their
Permanent
mayo
grade
supply.
Is that
They're fighting Belgium.
Belgium. Oh,
I'm not sure what's going on here,
What?
but it's
Belgium is
What?
invading Russia. What the hell?
Okay. Louis Evin is...
Belgium doesn't even have that large an army. I think the game is confused.
Wait, what? Belgium is defeating Russia in Russia.
I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, now they
Yeah.
disappeared. Now they evaporated.
No,
they
they're
moved
down here. They're down here. Hang on. So
What's
Louis
happening?
Evin,
In response
he
to
has
the Dutch invasion.
he has successfully naval invaded Russia.
How the hell did he do that?
You underestimated the Belgians.
What?
But it's fine. We take Wallonia and
Belgium
and the Flanders.
But there
and
was
then
a
we
lake
will
there. How did their
reinforce,
navy?
Poland.
Okay, apparently their navy
Well,
flew.
the British, I believe the British India Company has arrived with
What
most
the
of
hell?
Battle for Brussels is going
What
on.
just happened?
Yes.
The Dutch triggered the
Will
Belgians
we
to launch a naval invasion on a Russian lake,
Will we
and they're
win?
winning.
Oh, it's so close. There. Okay. Belgium
Okay.
is
Because Belgium decided to just move to Russia.
Belgium
apparently.
has been conquered, but their army. Okay, mining accident.
Oh no! What could possibly go wrong? Children and nitroglycerin. What could possibly go wrong? I don't get
It
it.
is a small price to pay for the march.
Maximize
Yeah,
profits.
it is. Lower strata puffs become more radical. Yeah, I can live with that.
Okay, I will definitely be looking into the Belgian.
Oh, they fixed that
5D
bug?
chess
Oh,
in
that bug
Russia.
was awesome.
I don't see the problem. Look, they were just going for the heart of Russia in a desperate attempt to end this war.
But it's obviously they feared the
It was a
might of
gambit.
Chassé. Our 78-year-old general here scared the shit out of him, so he has fled to Russia.
Okay.
Russia is victorious.
Yes. The good news is we're gonna win.
We are going to win. You know what the even better news is?
We're making money.
I can't
Really
believe
We
that
can start
invasion.
constructing again.
Imagine playing a broken version
More
of this where,
furniture.
like, the United States invades
You're gonna
Canada,
need
so
more
in
furniture to, like,
retaliation, Britain becomes
Decorate our new
China,
Belgian homes.
Yeah.
and then China just
Yes.
morphs into the same
Yes.
shape as Japan.
So Belgium is absolutely losing.
Yes. I think they might have done better.
Wait, now a
if they
lot of
didn't all
people
sail
came
the
up.
same.
This is a mess, an
They've
absolute
spent
mess.
$1.5 million on this war so far. They spent as much on the war as our entire credit limit.
Nice.
Well, it's an existential war.
and
We only
yeah,
spelled $500,000, so we're good.
yeah, yeah.
By the way, good Brad lore.
I mean, that is the entire. It's not
Bradford
just
lore.
Belgium, it's
Bradford
also
loves
East
Belgian
India.
waffles and probably Belgian beer. Bradford
Is
likes
there-
beer.
There's no battle going on?
Is there a battle
No,
going on?
Like, shouldn't we be moving down and, like, retake Luxembourg?
It's.
We've liberated Luxembourg.
Oh,
Did we?
I think so.
No,
Okay.
no.
Oh, I
Luxembourg is
think
still
it's the one
Belgian
province.
occupied.
One province front bug. think that might still be in this build.
No, I think this is the front.
Okay.
So we
All
are
right,
we are still struggling for this front,
Okay.
but they're not giving up
The
yet.
Belgians have rallied.
Yeah, they're not giving up yet, but they are very close, and we are definitely going to win this. They will lose in a week.
Good.
Oh yeah.
In
We getting notifications from control booth. We have 5 minutes to end this war.
Wow.
Look at
that.
those
It's a
graphs.
bit of a precipitous drop there. But we're building
Okay.
everything. There we go. Yes.
Yes.
Proper Netherlands again.
Perfect. And we
Good.
only have 1.33 million radicals now.
They're gonna be happy when we reclaim.
Let's have a look at the turmoil level.
Nether
in-
Belgium is complete.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, we're still fighting the
Why is
British
this?
India because they're still trying to liberate Brunei.
Oh.
The war isn't over. They still want something from us.
Right.
Nether Luxem Belgium is complete. Or at least soon.
Right. But I mean, I think. I mean, I'm done.
Yeah. Let's give it to them. Let's give it to them.
Post peace deal.
We traded Brunei. I think that's a good trade.
That's a decent trade.
Belgium
we
for
go.
Brunei.
Yeah. No, this is good. This is good.
And we definitely don't have a lot of turmoil in the
Oh, wow.
conquered Belgium.
Yeah, right. We gotta do something about that.
Everything's just on fire.
But look at that GDP though.
Yes, the GDP definitely went up.
We took those
Because we took
factories
over
back.
the Belgian GDP, which was way better than ours.
That's right. That's right. Population shot up a bit too. Beautiful. It's just a very radical population.
Yeah,
but we can
it's
deal
just
with
that we're definitely gonna be getting a secession movement there in no time at all.
Meh. We can deal with that.
Can't you oppress them a little with that? We call
Don't have
violent
enough,
suppression.
we're gonna have to cancel something like.
I think this is actually a pretty
back
good
up.
place to stop at because we are running out of time anyway.
Yep.
Because we've won. I'm
Good.
surprised.
We stepped down. We have done ours. Like the other thing is someone else's problem.
I have a small list of things that I'm going to be looking into for the next one. Primarily.
Where's
the
Raptoria on
glorious
this map?
Belgian
The
naval
tall
charge in Russia.
grass. I'm in the tall grass.
Oh my god, I don't know what went wrong there. And then, yeah, but this was fun. We didn't even make it 10
imagine
years.
doing
I
like
think
another
next time we stream,
Napoleonic
I believe
war
that we will be trying to
as
focus more on
France, like
actually
taking
playing
command of
and
France
showing
and
off
just
the game. But regardless, I hope
plowing
you
through
guys enjoy
Prussia,
this.
going into Russia.
Absolute madness.
Madness.
At least we did please the chat. Like we did follow the wish of the masses by creating the real Netherlands. I believe in this.
Yeah,
Well-
and then this Netherlands will definitely not be ripped apart shortly after.
That's not our problems.
No, it's gonna be fine.
All right, thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us. And again, Vicky 3 today we open it up for pre-orders. So go to Steam and pre-order the game if you want. And the game will release on October 25th. And your gracious hosts here today has been me, Björn, community manager, Martin Wisk, game director, and Mikael Lechek for that is the lead designer. And yeah, see you in 2 weeks, I believe, is the next time.
Yep.
And yeah, we'll see what we will play then. I don't think it's decided.
And I'll hopefully see some of you on PDXCon.
All right, PDXCon is going on right now in Stockholm. If you're a big fan of any sort of Paradox games, yeah, PDXCon is going on in Stockholm. Damn, I should have went to that too. All City Skylines, Victoria, all that stuff, Hearts of Iron, all that's going on there. Cool. All right, well, they're going to do another stream in 2 weeks then, so they'll probably show this kind of just more of a first look. So I'm hoping in their next looks, they'll look more in-depth at, like, for example, the military, more in-depth at other nations. So hopefully that'll be something that they cover in the future, where they show a little bit more about all the things. This looks cool. This is definitely... I didn't know what to expect, and this is definitely something that interests me. It seems to be, in a way, like... for games that I've played, this is similar to Hearts of Iron that I've played in many ways, but then more economical and like building that way. Like Hearts of Iron, your build-up is to go to war. With this, there's many other ways to do it other than just fueling a war economy all the time. But that's going to be fun. But, you know, like there's limited options for war here versus like World War II, which of course goes from 1836 to 1936. So this is cool. I'm definitely going to check out their next stream on this, and I want to learn more. So I'm definitely going to see their stream next, well, I guess in the next 2 weeks, and we'll kind of keep an eye on this before Victoria 3 comes out. Now, here's the deal. We may get early access to Victoria 3, and if I get additional keys, it'll go to all of you who are subscribers and such. So don't forget to subscribe. We'll drop keys and giveaways and such in our Discord, and it'd be really cool to play multiplayer with everybody picking a great nation or a major power or whatnot, and that'd be a lot of fun. So if you haven't already done that, make sure you do that. Additional keys will go to, you know, I'll probably play with like me, Bradford, and Strami, for example, and then give some keys to you guys, and we'll just have like one fun game sometime. Is there Sweden? Yeah, there's Sweden in the game, and those guys were Swedish for sure. Yep, for sure. So, all right, very cool. So, yeah, make sure you're subscribed so you can possibly win a giveaway. I don't know if I'll get more keys or not, but if I do, they go to you guys, because what am I going to do with them? I'll give some to my friends so we can put on a multiplayer show, because this will be best played multiplayer. and then we'll do some more giveaways on the Discord soon. So, all right, Victoria 3, October 25th, 2022. A couple of weeks and a month away, so that's going to be pretty awesome. I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm certainly interested in this, just like I was in, for example, Anno 1800. Except this is much more Hearts of Irony, so that's cool. All right, I will see you guys a little bit later today for our next stream. Thanks for jumping in and taking our first look at this really promising looking game. I'd never played the previous ones, didn't know what to expect, and I'm delighted and excited to see more. I'll see you all a little bit later, where we're going to be building another empire in the new Conan Age of Sorcery. I'll see you there shortly. Soon, chat. Soon. Thanks for hanging out, guys. You're awesome. Thanks for all the good questions. Thanks for being a part of the stream, and I'll see you next time, which is later. Okay, bye.